For those who are somehow living under a rock, we got Javaho Creations, and it's gonna be insane, man.
Yeah, dude, he's got some new stuff going on, and like you said in the post, man, it's just like total consistent. Like, you know what I mean? I know, actually, I don't know. I was gonna say, but you know how long it takes to make a figure from beginning to end with that quality with a backer. But you know, he really kind of runs the gamut, dude, as far as scale goes. I mean, 5.5 obviously being where he fucking excels at. But I'm looking at his other stuff, dude, that's not 5.5, and it's all, I mean, it's all fucking great, dude. So he's just, you know, and he's super good dude. So I fit right
I
in.
think that's what was actually that was taking me so long to get into the room tonight. Actually, was I was making sure I had tabs ready for their work before I dragged them in here. Like, what is this shit? For any of you who don't know,
I'm Javaho Creations, located in Belgium. I make toys. I started in the 5.5. Now I'm trying to dab into some other sizes and forms. But 5.5 is still the main thing I do, and the thing I love the most to do.
I know last time you were on the show, man, we were talking about your first, like when you got in to start doing 5.5s, and one of the first artists that you hooked up with was Frankenlander, because he's out where you're at as well.
Yes.
How did that, we didn't really dive into that story too much, man. How did that whole thing come about? And are you still doing work with him currently, or talking to him on a regular basis?
How did we meet? That was via Instagram. I made a figure, just a one-off, of the character Kludde from a Dutch movie, from a Belgian movie. I think I talked about him last time as well. And because he is Belgian as well, he remembered the character from his childhood, and he was already working and doing 5.5 customs. So he suggested I send over the figure to him so he can maybe do some molding and some casting of the figure I made. We decided to start all over and make a figure in parts and pieces that would be that it would make it easier for him to make the arms and the legs and stuff like that. And it worked out pretty good. So we did a very small run. And that's actually the first 5.5 figure I've done and make multiples of. So he did all the casting work. I did sculpting. I did the painting. And after that, we stayed in contact and we exchanged a lot of information. I helped him modify parts he needed to cast. He did the casting for parts I needed, for figures I did, and that's how we did a few collaborations.
Let's say tomorrow you had an idea and you say, hey, I want to make a fill in the blank. From that point, if it's just one of these ones that you're doing online and saying, hey, this is in my shop, it's ready to go, you know, not a pre-order or anything like that, what's that time frame like for you? Just because it seems like you'd have to be working almost nonstop.
At best, in one day, if I have a lot of parts that are ready to go, just need to be cast, and just need to grab some molds, need to grab some parts, need to grab some paint. I can do this in one day sometimes. Mostly it takes a few weeks, especially if I want to make a package and stuff like that.
What surprised me the most, I guess, about this was that it was this, dude. Like, I have never seen you do anything like this before. And then it pops up and I'm just like, fuck, man, that's really good too. Tell me about this one, man.
So somehow I ended up onto a guy's French artist's page who's been doing a lot of, let's say, you see the art on a lot of pinup style art. About,
right.
I know Velma is one of his favorite characters, and I like Velma as much as the next guy, I think. So I decided to contact him and ask him, would you like to do a collab?
Dude, so let's talk about the fingerboards, man. What is going on there? We're gonna give one away tonight, but what's the venture there?
Same thing as with the David, as with the Velma. I'm working on something that's a bit boring, it's a bit repetitive, and my brain starts to wander, and I think that would be something cool to do. And I start researching it. The board started with when my son came back from school and his little friends, they were all playing with the tech decks. And I had no idea what it was, and he was very enthusiastic about it. So I got him a set, and I got onto Noob Dojo's page, and I saw what OmniRest was doing with Noob Dojo's boards. And I noticed, oh, these guys are making these themselves, and they're not made of plastic; they're made of actual wood. Right. So I think I reached out to Noob Dojo, and he also has a few videos on his page how he makes them, and there are some molds for it. And we started talking, and he said to me, "You should check out Everyday Fingerboards." This guy uses 2 plastic tech decks, toy tech decks, to make his own mold to make a board with.
This says limited run.
Yeah.
104.
Yes.
But yeah, there it is, man. And they're legit, dude. These are like definitely real wood, super smooth. I don't know. I don't want to say it seems weird that you would make those because I think you're good at making anything that you put your mind to. Unexpected, I think, would probably be a good word for it.
When those little things landed onto my desk, I noticed how well they scale with 5.5 and even 4.5 figures. The samurai Grumps showed off also has one of these boards attached to his back. It's very rewarding to just put this in there as an accessory.
Yeah, dude, look at that.
Yeah, there she is. And the cool thing about it is because of the metal screws that go into the board to attach the wheels.
Yeah.
You just put two little magnets in the feet of the figure and they attach to the board, and you can.
Oh,
so
dude.
she has two magnetic feet, so she just she always stands up. She has a figure stand in the shape of a skateboard. So that was another win. I started these figures right before the Jake Paul fight. I was really there was a lot of buzz, a lot of about everybody wanted to see that fight, and I remember really aiming to get my Tysons done by the end of the fight, hoping to get some of that momentum. But I was so disappointed. I put this project aside and then picked it up a little bit later.
That's so funny, dude. You were so pissed off you put the project on hold. I know some of the heads that I have on some of them are custom heads that were done by you. Are you sculpting those as well?
Yes. I sometimes I do I go the 3D route, but that's only if I just don't find another way, because I've had some issues with if I prefer the resin prints, of course, to avoid the lines that a PLA printer does. But in the beginning, I had a lot of issues that the silicone would not cure when it came into contact with the printed part. So I had to really clean it very well, prime it, even seal it before I could make a mold from it. My very own Mighty Max set. So this is the very small Clutter figure that comes with it. And this is the play set I've been building. And this is completely hand cast. Hand cast, of course, but hand sculpted as well. This is no 3D printing, nothing at all. I just started with Monster Sculpt. First time I used it, I wanted to test it. The first thing I did was sculpt the front. And I decided that if I can pull this off and I can make a decent mold from it, I can start working on the back and the inside. I have fully documented the whole process, but I haven't released it out yet. I will as soon as the figure is done. I normally suck at those things. I always forget to take pictures, make videos of my progress or my work in progress. But this time, I remembered. I will only commit to a project if I really want, if I want to do it, if it inspires me. Let's say it like that. And
anything else you want to get out there, dude, before we let you go?
No, just thank you for the opportunity again. And
you're a little bit glitchy, but I can hear you.
My internet is broken. I'm going off a phone hotspot. I almost went to a coffee shop.
Dre says hope Crumbsy in his teeth is okay. Yeah, me too, man. So we'll see what happens with that. He might message here in a little while to see what's up. So anyways, what's been up with you, dude? What's going on?
Nothing good. Man, I tell you what.
That's not true.
I'm not joking when it all sucks right now. Being exhausted all the time and staying up too late watching hockey. But, that's the life. And it's a good time. I can't complain. I'm having fun. I'm just tired. I don't think I showed anything I got from Assembly Required, and I didn't bring a lot up. I did pick up, finally, a piece I'd really wanted for a long time from Hip Hop Toys. I always wanted one of his subway trains, that paying tribute to the old school graffiti artists.
Yes.
So I got the Lady Pink train.
Nice, dude. Now, is that those are die-cast metal? Yes.
Yeah, I think, yeah. At least the train part, and then the bottom is plastic. And I guess it lights up. I'm too much, I can't take things off. I think this tab would open up the battery so the lights come on inside, but
yeah,
I don't know.
For sure.
It takes me forever to open things. I mean, I finally took out of the box for the first time yesterday. And the box this guy does not know I have this. I'm kind of excited that he's finally going to know who owns it. He might know who owns it. Maybe he found out. I don't know. But I am the proud owner of the bootleg Sewer Mutant Punk Trooper, personal hero, and really good human. Bliss Receptor was watching that and decided to grab a figure, a Joe, wrap it in masking tape like it was injured, threw it in the yard for like 5 to 6 months, painted it with blood, and sent it to me. And this is 100% one of my favorite figures right now. And then I think the only other recent thing I bought, I think I showed you this one, was I definitely overpaid for the Matchbox car, the Matt Mattel Creations thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So you guys, this is how you package something. I mean, I'm never going to be able to do this in my life, but it rises.
Oh yeah, dude. Yes, you did show me that. Oh god, that is so cool.
There is a post office near work that is like a 10-minute walk. You walk in the door, they've got really good soul music on.
Huh.
The one guy is just singing the songs like while he's ringing up your stuff. The
Yeah.
woman on the other counter is just the nicest lady. I do not do surveys. Like if you hand me your receipt and like circle the thing, you're like, please do the survey and tell us your experience. Every
Yeah.
time I go to that post office, I do the fucking survey. Do you have a Pamrose swamp thing?
Do I have a Pamrose swamp thing?
Yeah, because that's one of those I think came out right when I started getting into the scene in like 2020, maybe a little earlier than that, maybe right like, and they're awesome. I fucking love them, and never got one. And I think I even had an opportunity to, and I passed on it just because I didn't know much about like getting toys or whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, those are now a grail for me. Like I need to get one of those.
You know, from artist to artist, I think it's one thing. From consumer to artist, I think it's another thing. And it could be that, you know, I honestly don't think it's my place to tell anybody how they made something. You know, I know it happened one time, right? But besides that,
I mean, I think you and Crumbs both have previous experience with that. It's not just you. Like he was doing unboxings before and had some things happen, but also there was something that Crumbs did, and I'm not going to go into detail about it. I don't know if it's even still out there. He did a video once, and I think he got a lot of crap for it, but it was one of the most important videos that I ever saw in like making me think about my presentation and what I'm putting out and how I want people to see my stuff. And I think I do feel like you like trying to find the right. I really want to be criticized. Like I want people to tell me like this is shit, or I really like this, but what if you push this? Um, I want feedback because I want to be a better artist. I want to be a better creator, and I don't. It's the love is great, like putting up a piece and everyone's like, "Hey, this is amazing. This is so great. This is so cool." Um, and I really also want a couple people to just shoot me a DM and say, "Hey, dude, I like this, but like I have a couple ideas like to maybe push it further." And you know what? That's also hard as an artist because you don't want to be offended. You want your stuff to be perfect. You got to be open to accepting that criticism. You got to be, stuff you do. We can always grow. Like I'm sorry, man. I think I don't know. The zine is a nice balance for me because then when I'm fucking tired, I just sit on the couch and pull up, the iPad and work on stuff. If you find the energy to get down there, and you guys know what I'm talking about here, like when you're down in that shop and you're on fire, everything just makes fucking sense. Like you know what you're doing, the art's coming out hot, and everything looks good in your eyes, and you're in the zone. Sometimes though, it's just getting that fire to do it.
So next week, Kachina on I think he's got his online show next week. There is not a lot of people in that show, but every one of them is going to be freaking stellar.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Toys Day. B, what is up, my dude? How are you?
Oh man, I think we probably got the fuck in there at the very beginning. I'm almost positive we did.
You want to pull this Yahoo in? Kachina, you good to come in, my friend?
Ready to go.
Totally good. Hey guys.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good.
It's going good. Dude, let's talk about this show. Let's just jump into the show, and I think that's going to lead to other things here. Your show is tomorrow, and that's an online show here on Instagram. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll ask you a shitload of questions about it.
My newest toy is this time bender, Captain D, and he was based off one of my original resin toys that I sculpted. And so even way back then, I was like, I want to make this jump to vinyl, and talked to some people about it, did the Sunny project in between, and also tried to get another couple projects kicked off that needed to be re-engineered. And so I put those on the shelf and kind of decided to really pay attention to it, do a sculpt in Nomad, and then come up with this Captain D character. Yeah, I got like 10 people that I have been in custom shows with that did an amazing job in those shows, and also people that I've worked with and kind of really admired their work in the past to participate in the show. And yeah, they're like some huge hitters, Wonder Goblins painting some stuff up, Extra Truck Terrestrial, and Maggitarius, I'll just name everybody off. Donner Don't Care. You know, the stuff she's done with the hair has just been crazy in the past.
Definitely.
Dirty Yeti, Barely Human, Bootleg Toy Co., False Idols Toys, Stray 7, and Topher Toy. And each one of those guys has such a unique style that's this like combines everything that I'm interested in and have been do as a profession. And so that's really how I got into resin. And then not too long after that, wanted to get into vinyl. And so it was just a matter of like,
your Sunny figure, that's the one Crumbs mentioned at the beginning of the show when he thinks Kachina, that's what he thinks of. I would probably say the same thing, man. I've seen so many of those, and so many that are painted by a ton of different artists. How did that piece come about, man? It's unique, right? Like I've never seen any other figure that I could even resemble it exactly.
He's a little Kachina guy. He's a Sun Kachina, and he's got sort of like a flowery head to him, and that was more of like an engineering decision I made at the time. But his head kind of twists like a little puppy, and he's got, I think, like 4 or 5 points of articulation.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, he's a little Kachina doll. And so Kachina dolls are sort of magical spirit representations that come out of Hopi and Southwest tribes. And they describe them as our star brothers, or they told the native people that they were star brothers, and here's kind of how to live your life. And so I'm really into like Southwest lore and Southwest art. And so Kachina just seemed like a natural way to go for me. I mean, I go back and forth. It's like when they're textures, that's nice. And textures and details, I like toys with kind of deep recesses. Awesome, because you could do like a rub on it, and then all the, in this case, color like stays in those deep recesses. You know what I mean? But I also like the number 2 combo that had a lot of flat area on it. And so like I could get in there and add texture in a different way with the that weird sort of flamey texture and like the masking. And so yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of the time, and like I'm a massive collector too, so it is sometimes I just like buy stuff and I'm just like, I want to add that to my collection, and then I'll paint it up. And I've got like
that one, dude. That one, it's got like that 1950s vibe to it, right? Only because, I mean, not only because, but it's the spacesuit for one, but that palette, God, dude, that is really good, man.
Yeah, classic. And this was the first release, the Captain D version of the Time Benders. And so, yeah, this is the classic paint. And one thing I'm really like proud of with this sculpt is, I don't know if you remember like the old film canisters where you have like the roll of film and the black canister, and how it would like feel when you put the lid on that and kind of like have that little vacuum feel. And I ended up engineering like the lip of the dome here to fit within that top part, and it kind of does that same thing as that same feel, kind of locks in, and you can take it off and put it on really easily. I wanted it to be a little more interactive than have to heat it up to get it on and off. And so there's, I think, a lot of playability and posability with this toy. I'm really stoked on how it turned out. Yeah, everybody's going to post at the same time. And then through the hashtag Timebender Group Show, everybody will be able to see like the array of pieces that have been put up. Again, if I went to Decon, it would be more to like make connections and hang out and then see if anybody wanted anything more than the expectation that I'd make my money back.
And it's not only the table, right? It's the travel, it's the plane, it's the room, it's the food, it's whatever you do out there. And so there's got to be some give and take, I think, with some understanding that, hey, there's a good chance I may not make all my money back, especially if I take what I'm making and then go buy something else at the show.
Exactly.
You know
That's what I was going to say, because we do so much of everything like through an app, right? And so you get to know people's personalities, but being in their space and actually having a real-time conversation is a little bit of the pinnacle of the experience, right? So yeah, that's definitely the way I feel, right? Like you actually get to meet your friends, so that's awesome.
And dude, I think for me, you know, not being an artist and only being a collector, that's one thing that always it still seems a little bit surreal to me, even though I talk to a lot of these people on a regular basis on Instagram, and so you know each other. But then seeing them in person it's a whole different thing, man. You know what I mean? Like it's there's that connection there. And then that makes the online experience even better. And then you just kind of turn into friends, as well as people that you like to collect. What's the one thing that you absolutely love about this scene, man, that makes you keep wanting to do what you're doing?
To me, it's the exposure of so many people that are excited to create, and they're creating like really unique things. And also what I find too is a lot of the times as artists, even though we might have like a completely different job, we're pretty sensitive individuals. And so I think a lot of people in this community are easy to get along with, and like actually decent human beings, and just extremely creative, right? And when I feel like you're in that level of creative environment, there's a lot of inspiration that goes on. And so it's just, it's nice to be in a place with people that have like the same sort of proclivities and outlooks and approaches. And it's, everybody excited for one another usually. So that's what I love.
Oh, well, how you doing, man? Oh, you're on mute, my friend. Well, it's out of the way early, right?
Out of the way early. There we go. I mean, nothing to shoot for. So what do you know about Zartan? Are we ready to get to this?
Okay. One of the main things I ended up, we both know Zartan apparently master disguise. Actually, let's pull in Death and Strawberries. They ended up popping in here as well. So we're going to pull them in here.
There you go. Now,
Yeah,
the 100% encyclopedia on G.I. Joes. Thank you for being with us tonight so you can sort us out and say, listen, you idiots, this is who he is.
I did bring the encyclopedias tonight. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero was a reboot of the original G.I. Joe brand by Hasbro. They rebooted it in 1982. And then, let's see, when did Zartan come out? It was either 83 or 84. But he was a unique figure in that he came with a small vehicle. And so the price range was unique. So they had vehicles that they sold with figures and figures. This was somewhere in the middle. And also it was a new way they were trying out the color change plastics. It was a brand new thing. And so this character kind of just came out of the fact that they were trying to use these color change plastics. So that's where the Master Disguise thing came from. And then, the file card was actually pretty unique on that guy too. So if you don't know, those G.I. Joes used to come with a file card on the back of the backer, and it would have a lot of description of, all written by Larry Hama, but the description of who they are, what kind of person they are and stuff. And in the original version that was released, it said he was a paranoid schizophrenic. There were some lawsuits over that, and then they had to change the verbiage for later editions. But I don't know, that's kind of down dirty. I'm sure we can find a picture here, and the picture of the original Zartan figure. And you can see he came with a, if I can point at it, removable mask. That was the disguise. And then all this skin-toned plastic would turn blue in the sun.
Dude, we might as well talk about your piece. Do we want to talk about his piece while he's here?
I'll talk about it real quick. I used my Master of Slouching sculpt once again. This was actually a piece that I did with General Porpoise last year for last year's GI show. I did the sculpt and he molded and cast this, and so this is a casting that General Porpoise did for me. I took it all apart and I adjusted some things, I painted, and then I made a lot of alternate heads. So this sculpt has basically a little metal piece in the top so you can put any magnet of any polarity on there. And then he also has a little bit of movement, So I took that idea kind of a little bit further, and I just made a lot of alternate heads for him as basically little disguises that he could wear. So we can swap him out to like a Mandalorian Zartan or, E.T. Zartan. Or I got the OG Zartan there also.
Cave Dweller Toys, how you doing, dude?
Good, man, good.
Good.
Cave Dweller Toys is me. I am Cave Dweller Toys. Me and Kaiju, we host the shows. Kaiju does all the real work, and I kind of do all the schmoozing and begging people to be in the show. And that's what we do. It's been a long night. It's Zarby.
It's so good, dude. I love it.
It's Barbie, but Zartan. I also have a Pass the Thimbles piece with me. Lil Zartan.
Yeah.
That's
That was
freaking
good
dope,
too.
man.
That was a good show, man. Congrats to Kajuki and Cave Dweller. You may have just made the Cave Dweller Kajuki combo name Cage Dweller.
What did I say? Cage
you
Dweller? Is
said
that what I said?
Cage Dweller. I kind of like that.
We should make a figure. There should be a Cage Dweller figure.
Yeah, there you go. DNS
Cage
is
Dweller sounds like some kind of weird S&M, like, fucking goblin human thing. You can't be doing that. All right, guys, have a good night.
Yuck 'em up next week. Bye. Give him a grand entry like we do. The boys are back in town. I like that, Jazz Wiz.
We've got Yuck hanging out with us, man. Why don't we pull Yuck and Muck in on here as well? Because I feel like they could probably chime in on this whole even topic as well. So Yuck, if you're good, we're gonna drag you in here, homie. What up?
How's it going?
It goes in. How are ya?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Not too much, just the usual. Just hanging out, doing my thing. Well, I've done it exactly once, so not really. Yeah, no, I did like one in-person event with Pocket Salsa and General Porpoise last month, and yeah, it wasn't really a thing. It was just there. I'm sure if it was something where, it was like assembly required or something, it would be easier to probably present myself that way. But I don't really care what people want to call me. Sometimes it's like awkward to call people by anything other than like if I'm talking to vomiting droids, I'm like, it's vomit.
Fuck my post office. All right, let's start there. Like, I'm so sick of their bullshit, dude. Yuck, you got this carded series going. What's going on with that, man?
I was considering stopping it, and I was like, you know what? I'd probably just keep going. I just keep going till I'm bored. I think I say that in every post. So I'm just gonna keep doing this till it's not interesting to me anymore. And so far it has been, so I keep doing it. I don't like 100 is a nice round number. I'm like 25-ish away from that, so that might be it. I don't know. Part of the challenge is like, can I pick something that's like super abstract and try to make something out of that? Yeah, I'm never like, I need this to be perfect just because I know I'm never gonna get it to that point. But it's more about like, I want to get this to a place where like I'm not gonna be embarrassed asking people to pay money for it. So that's more. I mean, I've definitely chucked stuff because I'm like, this isn't like where I want it to be. Yo-Yo Dime said it's all about aesthetics, and I think that's exactly what it is. If you're going for that, like there's a store nearby me that I go to, and they have a whole wall of like Motu bootlegs from wherever, and they all look like shit, but they're so cool to look at because you can see what they were trying to be and what they actually came out to be, and it's just its own thing. And I think that's what I like about this is everyone's kind of got their own, like, I've said this before, I can't remember if I said it last time I was on the show, but like you can look at certain pieces and know exactly which artist they came from, like instantaneously, even if it's like a Star Wars figure, and you're like, everyone does that and everyone has their own version of that. But if I can look at it and say I know exactly whose that is just by looking at it, to me that's like the mark of someone who's really got their own style and their own aesthetic that really makes sense.
Fuck, I fucked it up. I want to make a funny Bee's mom joke. Talking about my big, heavy, weighty, girthy, don't even know how much it weighs dick, but unfortunately I fucked it up.
We got there eventually. So
yeah.
Since we were talking about junk fed, I was going to show this other junk fed piece that I got, which is one of his He Is Risen ET figures. This was another kind of religious figure from Ocular.
Nice, very cool.
Jesus. This was one of my favorite things I saw from, I'm blanking on the show. Is it Apocalyptico? It's the Jimmy Folklore's Skull
nice.
Quadling. There's a couple other things. We were talking about Camabot. This one I saw him post, and I was like, I really want to get that. And he hadn't posted like this was before he had the store, so he was just posting stuff. But this one's just kind of hard to see. But this one I like a lot because of the head. Something about the big heads I really like. I don't know why. I would call them like berry face Ewoks. But this one is this is the red one, and then I've got another one that he did. That's tan and black, which is really cool. But it's almost like a raspberry or blackberry in the face. It's just, again, immediately recognizable. That's what it is.
For sure.
You gotta love it. This,
yeah, that's it.
Fair. Yeah. It's like, hell yeah. But even this, don't be safe, don't be cool, be excessive and fucked up, be pink and yellow, be goopy and willy. You are fucking. It's like.
Remember when Vomit came out, dude, and like the biggest thing was like, how did he do that? And then Drock was like, I know how he did that, and then he did that, and he put out a few that were like that. And I have one where I swear to God, if you put them up side by side, you'd have a hard time going, I don't know. Well, yeah, it could be him. But then he backed off of it, right? And I know that there was like some conversation with him and Vomit when that was going on of like, hey, like I'm not like straight up biting your stuff. And it was like a very kind of acceptable thing. And he made a few, and I think he just kind of left that alone. And I don't know if he ever went back to it or not, but I thought that was cool.
Cost Robot is back.
Oh yeah,
Has been posting. I
Nice.
was going to show up
Oh,
a
damn.
long time ago. He was again one of the first people I started following. Also, another one is Alien Robot Monster, which you can kind of see up there on the board there.
Because it's 11:20. Do you want is Yahoo's get on with their evening, go to sleep?
Yep.
All right. Thanks everybody. Have a good
Thanks
rest
for being
of
in,
your night.
dude. Appreciate it.
I feel like B's got the legs for a fucking sundress, man. I'm picturing a little like powder blue, little white frill on the bottom. I feel like you got the fucking thighs and calves for it.
Is that right? Well, that's interesting. I'm glad you think that. Anyways, moving right along, dude. I think we may be ready for, unless you had something else to discuss.
No, the poor dude. It's like 4 a.m. It's 4:20 now. So we're feeling it's 4:20. What up? Anyways, so I feel like it's probably time we can pull the old shotgun karaoke in, man. What do you say?
Hey.
Nice.
I love how you come in rocking the mat and the beard protruding.
Excuse my attire. I think I wanted to give respect to the tradition and wear a mask. Hello, everybody. I am Tom. Some people know me as Damo, or some people know me as Shotgun Karaoke. I hail all the way from Helsinki, Finland, and it's a summer day. Half of the weekend's already passed, and holiday season. I make toys, resin. I have one shelf that is just dedicated for them. Let me just open that. I also have some chums over there, and that speed was the speed skull.
Yeah.
The resin blood one. I actually had the courtesy of meeting both Copper Inks and Extra Orchestrial when they were visiting Helsinki, and what a trip. And this critter just needs more recognition.
Oh yeah.
And these bees, I mean, they are radioactive as hell.
Yeah, dude, straight up. Dude, let's talk about your newest piece, the janitor that you got going on.
Yeah. So first of all, that's a collaboration between me and my homie Vice Toy Customs 88. Big shout out, Eddie, if you're listening to. So technically, it was his kit bash idea, and he sent me a photo of it, and I just got super excited, and just came forth and proposed the idea of making molds of that whole piece and making a series of it. And it turned out to be one of the biggest and the most difficult projects that I ever had to go through. I think I made maybe over 10 molds together. There's like 11 different parts that had to be molded, and I had to like redo the torso mold at least 2 times just because of like poor planning and just cutting it wrong.
Well, there you go, man. They came out super clean, dude. God, that's a beauty right there. So that's Vice Toy Customs 88. Is that the address on Instagram as well?
Yeah, that's his handle. That was done by him.
Ooh, nice.
Yo, did you guys use like green resin for all these hops of the plungers?
Yeah. That was
yeah,
a little,
man.
like last minute idea, since I had some of that UV resin that is UV reactive. Like I said, 11 different parts. So you can imagine the pain of just redoing and
yeah,
the articulation was something that took us back. I don't know if you already opened the box and studied the piece itself. It kind of mimics the original cage for the legs.
Okay.
But made from different types of material, so it doesn't take too much of the wear and tear. So this was one of the janitor molds. It has pieces of the plunger, it has the original Y peg, and then it's got 2 legs. Yeah, I guess it's 2 legs.
Nice.
That's an
But anyway,
economical.
about Smooth On, actually only recently we have access to a few different Smooth On silicones, and a few of their resins, but the situation is still the same as it used to be. Just because of our location, we do not have the access for the polyurethanes, the clear ones. Some of the translucents we are getting, but like the 325, 326 series, none of that. It took about a year from the original idea for the physical copies to be in our hands.
Wow.
So a learning process, definitely. And that's one of the reasons that I still love doing this, because I just want to be better. I don't cast much. And when I do, I want it to be like quality. But this was one of those projects when like I was banging my head against the wall. Like, why can't I succeed on the first try? Like I'm trying to approach these things like an engineer, in the sense that, you know, depending on the project, you have different types of articulations and different ways to approach it. But, you know, if I would start sculpting, I would definitely look into the whole world of, like, you know, how they should be done if it were to be a sofubi.
I don't know as far as vinyl, but I know at least with resin, you start seeing that process of them working through problems and like you said, those engineering type skills, dude. And what's funny is that like you get really good results with a bunch of different ways to do it. You know what I mean? It's like we can talk about guys that have like their specialty is one thing, and maybe they do it completely different than other people, and it works best for them. But yeah, dude, that's what's cool about it, dude. There's like really, you know, I don't know if there's a right answer for everything. I'm sure there is, but you can make it work. I think you can. A lot of people here like make it work. You know.
Anyway, this one,
Woo!
Eddie Resin Blood, the Hedora. I just freaking love this thing. I actually gave it an extra gloss just because of the bottom. I know he sends stuff a lot, but you know, I just did this into a glossy thing and made it extra glossy. So
nice.
Big shout out to him. Then Mr. Von Fake Name. This is a mad piece.
I just love the fact that you've got some Canadian boy over in your Finland home, man. Hell yeah.
Not too many Canadians in here. The most interesting man. And what I love about the backside is this is almost like a stack of LSD. The plastic vomit duo.
Man.
This was so dope. My first plastic vomit customs piece.
They're so killer, man.
Ain't it clean, dude? God dang.
These were called Cortex Clug or Cortex Clug 2.
Gorgeous.
Just nasty and lovely at the same time. This bad boy. The original sculpt is done by Pocket Salsa. Last but not least, this Ordinary Toys Poison Tech piece.
Motherfucking Eddie. Those back, dude, the hand-drawn art is fucking stupid. All the hand-on lettering.
Hold on. Ever since Crumbs mentioned it, I was hesitant to grab this away.
There it is, dude.
Of course.
And yeah, Super Terrible, you actually have some DMs to catch up, but it is not a tumor.
That was pretty good, man. Nailed it.
I really love Kindergarten Cop, to be honest.
Anything that you saw that you want from Shotgun Karaoke, definitely get over to his website and his IG and get in the store and take a look at what he's got. There's some janitors left in there if you're looking for one of those. Thank you, dude. Very much appreciated, man.
This is one of the first times I think that I'm not sitting here like, come on, B, like fucking.
I know. Well, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, it's 6:17. I'm just like, how have you not pulled him in yet, dude? What is wrong with you? You're going against the grain, man.
Right.
Hey, what up? Hey, what's up, you guys? I am Fixed Temple Toys. My name's Colton, and I create the toys Glorbles and other things as well, but mainly right now just different variations of Glorbles.
Just start there, man. I mean, when you introduce yourself, you said that's kind of you're the creator of that. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the first toy that I'd ever made or come out with, but that's the one that I'd come out with that kind of like started doing pretty well. I've only been making toys, I guess, probably coming up on 4 years now. That's the one that seemed to kind of do the best collector-wise. This is what the original one had looked like, and it was just kind of this screaming mouth, not much of a body, but the whole thing is kind of the face and the body is one. And with the lore of it being kind of a shape-shifting type thing, it allowed me the wiggle room to be able to do all kinds of different variations and cross meshes with different things. Like I've done a global Bulbasaur, I've done a global Darth Maul, and the face, I'm able to kind of just take this main face and mash it onto all kinds of different stuff, and it still translates. That was the first outfit that I'd worn with the mask to Decon, was me in the suit with the global head. And I had made that was a Decon only release, so I haven't made any more of those, but the hand is out so it can hold the little micro glorbals that I would cast as well.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a Resin Rookie collab double cast. That was the peanut butter and jelly. So it's totally smooth on the outside. You don't feel those little drips at all. They're all within.
Sure.
So,
dude, yes. Ooh, shit. There was another one back there. Oh my god, dude, the fuck, dude. Fucking A, bro. Look at that. Straight up, dude. That is nice. Shit. Wow, those are smooth, man.
Sometimes it's hard for me to like something that I've done for very long. You know what I mean? Like I might be stoked on a design, and then a few months later, a year later, I don't really like it as much. And Glorbles have been one of those things where I myself really like it. And that's one of the things I kind of focus on when I make stuff before anything else, is making something that I like and that I would want to have on my shelf. Like I've got another faction I plan on coming out with within the universe, which is like, they're different from Glorbles, but I call them fanatics. And they're going to be this kind of like religious fanatic cult that worships the Glorbles and believes that like the global reset is a good thing, you know, and they willingly give their souls up to these soul-sucking Glorbles because, you know, for the better good. And then you have the other faction that's against it. And so I'll be rolling out different things within the same universe, but I think they'll always be, you know, different type of Glorbles, different things, like different ones being identified.
How did you get into just toy making kind of in general?
So it started off with like, I did a lot of street art stuff in Portland. A lot of stickers, a lot of wheat paste, things like that. And the initial Glorbal design was a wheat paste character that I would do. And then I had a gallery show in Portland at this place called PD Exchange. And that's when I did a Glorbal that was like on a wood cut. So I had cut it out of wood, and that was like a little bit closer to 3D. And then I wanted to make just some little micro Glorbals to be able to sell with the sticker packs that I sold in Portland. And then after I casted some, you know, they started selling. I had my first toy show on Booze and Buddies where I sold a ton of Glorbals that first night, and I was like, oh wow, there's a scene for this. At that point, I'd never heard of Designer Con. I'd never heard of like, you know, I knew there was a few graffiti artists and street artists that had their own toys, and I always thought that was cool, but I had no idea that there was a scene for this type of thing at that time. I do all my sculpting on Nomad, and I don't have a background with it, but you know, it's just been like a learning thing in the past, you know, 4 or 5 years. So I had done like sculpting and stuff like that, you know, in high school and a lot of different art classes, but I would have never thought that I was any good at sculpting with my hands. You know, like even if you gave me like an actual hunk of clay right now, it's tough, you know, being able to sculpt on an iPad digitally where like I can rotate it without putting fingerprints in it or without messing, you know, I can keep it clean and keep it smooth and all that was really a game changer. These guys are vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Soft vinyl, airbrushed, but yeah. And I've got a whole bunch of different versions of these. I call them Infernal Glorbles with the horns. These were pulled by someone I wouldn't recommend or want to send anyone their way, you know, so I don't want to.
We can just leave it there, yeah.
I don't want to slander, but I also don't want to. So anyways, I just recently sent my mold off to Last Bastion, and hopefully they will be picking up where I left off with these guys. But the pro side of this were these originally were so bad that the ones that I was able to kind of save and I was able to use, it's kind of what got me to buy an airbrush and get into airbrushing so I could paint them and save, you know, the ones that were savable. So yeah, on the glass half full side, it's really, you know, it got me airbrushing. It got me. This is one of the Cortex Glorbles. This is actually one that me and Kachina painted over at his house.
Man, that is badass.
And it's a different Glorbal, but with the elongated head and the mouth closed. I'd always thought about, you know, what would a Glorbal look like if it didn't have its mouth open. Here's one that doesn't have the eyeballs in it yet, and it's kind of got this like pukey, UV green puke on it.
Yeah.
And I'll then cast the eyes separately, so I can either paint them or I can stick them in afterwards. But like this is casted.
Dude.
This is probably one of my favorites. Like I strive for perfect, and I don't usually, you know, get to as perfect as I want. But like this is one that I can honestly say is in my eyes, perfect. Like there's not a seam line, there's not a bubble, there's nothing on this. When it costs so much to travel to these conventions, I want to have stock, you know, and having a part-time job has been killing me, dude. It's been the time that I put into these things of like sanding and painting, and then obviously things going wrong and stuff like that. It's tough. It feels like all I do is like work my part-time job and then come home and sand and paint and polish and cast. I'm not able to do drops as often as I was when I, was just doing this, when I was only doing toys. But only doing toys would pay the bills until I wanted to travel. And then it adds so much stress. Like I went to 5 points, not this year, but last year, and I sold like 2 things. And I was like, that was financially tough. And things like, things like Labubu or Cause or stuff like that, they're still doing that same thing. It's on a whole different level, but it's still introducing to people these collectible kind of art figures. And that's how I would probably go about it when talking to people that ask me, is like, it's a handmade collectible that, it's a chunk of someone's imagination. It's a chunk of somebody's influences, something that they created, just like any other piece of art.
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. I think the fact that you made something, original, that had, there's nothing else in there, and you've turned it into something where you can do so much with it, dude. That's like extremely versatile, dude. When we first started talking about it, I'm just like, oh yeah, you can do a couple things with it, dude. But then when you start looking at exactly what it is, you're like, holy shit, dude. You got resin, you got vinyl, and just what you can do in between those 2 mediums is nuts.
The grand scheme of it is to be able to kind of have my own style that I can then make other things where it still translates. Like the lore of the Glorbles is part of it, is that they're they're soul-sucking ectoplasmic beings. So the kind of the group of people I call the administration that's trying to stop these Glorbles, they are humans, and they're not really able to get near Glorbles how they want to, because humans have souls and they don't want to have their souls sucked out, basically. So that makes it now where I could kind of start playing around with different robots and stuff like that, where people can use these bots to battle or transfer or do whatever with the Glorbles. But it's just a fun universe to always kind of be thinking about and like existing within my head, and then being able to make something and put it out there, which people could put next to Glorbles and they still have kind of that same vibe, or that they're building that universe themselves with on their shelf, just like you would with something I've talked about in other interviews, but was huge for me was like, there's this VR game that I play that was in beta at the time, and it's called Ghosts of Tabor. And it's like an extraction shooter type game. And I was in the Facebook group, and the developers of that game were pretty active in the Facebook group, like talking to people and getting feedback and stuff like that. And I had messaged one of the developers, and I was like, I see you have, different street art and stuff within the game. I make these things called Glorbles. Like, here's the design. I do wheat pasting and street art stuff myself. If you guys ever wanted to use any of this, feel free, And at first they said no, and that's what I expected, you know what I mean? But as one of those goals that I've always had was to be able to get my art into a video game. And a month later, that same developer messaged me, and he's like, hey, I brought up your artwork during a texture meeting, and we've decided we're going to put Glorbles as graffiti around on the next few maps that are coming out. And he didn't tell me where they were, but when the maps came out, I got to like put the headset on and go into the game and try to hunt out where in the game I had Glorbles on different walls. And that was like a huge thing for me, which would have never happened if I didn't just ask. So I always try to preach to people to like aim higher than you ever think, because you just never know if you don't ask or put yourself out there. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor. And thanks everyone.
We have an absolute fucking legend in tonight. You got to sit with them in the past. I haven't sat with them yet. You sat with them twice. You ran a collection tour with them, and you did an interview with them.
That one episode where we were looking at some of his collection, I thought what was really crazy is, and I still think about this sometimes every time I see those Dragon Riders pieces, right? Like, I know some of them are super hard to get, like the ones that are different colors and the vehicles and stuff like that. So not only did he collect that whole thing, he sold it and then collected it again. So he's done that one twice. I'm just like, holy shit, dude. I know some people that are fans of that haven't even ever like seen some of those pieces in person before. Straight up almanac, dude. Like, if you need to identify something or know the origins of something or anything about toys, like, that is the dude.
Folklore, if you are all set, we're going to pull you on in, my dude. Oh, yeah, I see the thumb. The thumb of yes.
I'm Jimmy. Hi.
Perfect. Great. Love it.
Yeah.
I label myself an enthusiast, I think, because that encompasses most of the things I do. So when I'm enthusiastic about collecting, then that kind of consumes me. And when I'm enthusiastic about making something. Like I get an idea and I'm like, oh, that's doable. I can actually make that. Then that gets me excited. So I think enthusiast is the term I generally go by. I hesitate to say artist because, but I do look at it, the stuff we make as art, but I feel like, I mean, I'm in awe of other artists, and I feel more like I'm an experimentalist, maybe.
What you got in your hands there?
Oh, just since you were mentioning Deep Pruitt, I actually, this was like a conversation we had after he made his version, and then he was making different colorways, and I said, what if we called one Antithesis, and it was the faker color, and he was like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then like the next day he sent me pictures of this. So, that's the original concept, and then this helmet just happens to fit perfectly. So this was a character that I called Antagonist. He was going to be the villain of this fake like sci-fi line called Folklorian, just because I wanted to use that word. So that's what I mean. That's like, this is me being an enthusiast, and this is Deep Pruitt being an artist, right? It's the same. It's the same thing. Like when I like collaborate with General Porpoise, and it's like I have this idea, and then he makes this thing that's like amazing, and then I'm just like in awe of it. Because I think I met Porpoise kind of in the chat on this show, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to try this Broids line. I had some ideas, and I saw his work, and I just contacted him and asked him if he wanted to maybe work on it with me. And I sourced all the parts. I did a prototype of it, which is what became the mold that is the character for Brolin, which is a different Broid that is sort of like the stone, kind of the muddy stone guy. So I still use that mold, my original mold for that. But then Porpoise came in and did the super clean, super articulated. Like I didn't request that it be this articulated. Porpoise wanted to be, because this is 6-point articulation. But that's what I mean though. Like the same thing I was saying with like that textile feel and like the non-paint or like only the paint that's needed. That's what a Porpoise figure is. Like when you have it in your hand, this is like a figure. Even it's resin, but it doesn't give you any of the. It feels like something from like the shelves in the 80s or something. It feels like an action figure. It feels like the real deal, you know. This was the first full figure I ever cast on my own.
Heck, that's pretty freaking clean for the first figure cast on your own.
Yeah, dude, straight up.
This is sort of a Yuckamuck. This isn't my 3 things, but this is sort of a Yuckamuck lot. I think Yuckamuck and I see eye to eye on a lot of things. Yeah, kind of come from that same space. Yeah. So that is Zymot's Apocalyptico piece, which he said was so big that he wasn't going to ship it, and the first person to come to his space and could claim it for free. So.
Wow, dude, I remember that. I was going to say, isn't that a showpiece? But yeah, I remember his disclaimer on that saying he is not going to ship that. Dude, Crumbs pointed out the drips, dude. Look at that.
It's crazy.
Wild, man.
That is such a fucking stupidly cool piece.
Oh, it's awesome.
Damn, dude.
So that's Jevaho Creations.
Rewind a little bit and go back to this Deep Pruitt situation, man.
Oh, sure.
Like, what's the deal? Not available to the public, or what? Or you just hit them up and go from there? Or what's the dealio?
As far as purchasing a figure from Deep Pruitt?
Yes, sir.
I can't speak to that, but I wrote to him and said, hey, I really want that figure. Will you sell it to me? And he said yes.
Sweet. Well, that was a score, dude. That's an awesome figure.
Yeah. That was the first one we did with the glow, the silver glow card that that was kind of one of Ian's conception. That's like the mirrored silver that also glows. Coming soon.
Oh, that's a dirty pour. Are there rocks in there or something?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's some things going on there. There's a rock that was dropped through pigment, and then there's also a piece of like glow inside it that glows from within.
Jimmy, what's your thoughts on this crazy G.I. Joe articulation? Were you a fan of like the rivet joints as a kid?
I'm surprised to hear you guys talk fondly of it, because I thought you were against this articulation.
Oh no, we just hate GI Joes. It's nothing with the articulation. We don't.
I thought Crumbs had like a thing on.
I still have a version
or something.
It's the speedo portion here.
Yeah. I kind of agree.
I think this goes for a lot of stuff, to be honest with you. The more you learn about indie toys, the more you can kind of respect and appreciate certain things, even if you fucking hate it.
I'll say 2 things about G.I. Joe articulation. One is that G.I. Joe was as much about the figures, about the vehicles, as it was the figures. So the fact that you could like bend the knees and wiggle the waist and move the elbows and actually make the figure look like it's riding a motorcycle or actually sitting in the driver's seat, I think it mattered. From a customizer point of view, like there's never been an easier figure to take apart and swap parts out on. I mean, well, except for like with magnetic articulation, but as far as like a kid in the 80s, if you had a small screwdriver, then you could be customizing easily with G.I. Joe. Like they basically were like one screw away from being Lego. So, you know, that I think is cool about them too.
You know what me and Crumbs always say about if you got 2 facts about G.I. Joes, that's too many. So
sorry, did I overstay my welcome on G.I. Joe chat? I'll show off this because this is another thing I got from Pikmin via you guys, but this is awesome. Tone Twisted Tiger requested that I make a Faker Power Broid, so there's Faker Power Broid.
Oh wow. Jimmy Folklore, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for being here.
Jesus.
I look at that. I take my eyes off the screen for 1 second and you boot the guy out.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been you and I all night.
Yep, there you go. We're starting with the assembly required stuff this week, which is more of the Philly Designer Toy Art Festival. Matt Cassell coming on from Assembly Required. We got Steve Ford from Go Hero Official, and then we got a Corey Hanzo.
I could have probably done it one at a time and let them actually do it that way, but I decided like, no, we're slapping
just drop it all in one shot.
Yeah,
exactly. MJ, you've been on here before. Why don't you kick us off? Kind of let us all know who you are, what's going on.
My name's Matt. Matt Cassell. I'm the organizer, creator of Assembly Required. You know, last year we started tossing around some locations, and you know, I called up my buddy Steve because he's there in Philly, and I said, "Hey, we're bringing a show to Philly," and he was really excited because they had been talking about doing that for a while there.
I'm Steve Ford. I own a company called Go Hero. We're old heads. We started in like 2001, and we went to San Diego our first year in 2003 or 4. So we cut our teeth with like the Super 7 crew and Funko when they were just bobbleheads. So we've been doing this for quite a while, and we also are. My wife and I own an ad agency or creative agency, so we're one of the sponsors here. So we're sort of using all of our superpowers at one shot. 2022, I think I met a Corey. I think I met him before that, but we met at San Diego, and then over time we sort of earned each other's trust.
I'm a Corey Hanzo. I'm a sculptor, multimedia artist, like mostly contemporary, documentarian. Scott Coonsley had found my work on the internet. I think him and Steve already knew each other. They reached out to me. I would go to advice for Steve, you know, because I was just dipping my toe in like the 1/6 scale retail space and production. So Steve was giving me advice there, but we always had like a creative connection. Like you can't turn it off. So it was like me and Steve automatically clicked like that. So when we met at Comic-Con in San Diego for the first time face to face, it linked up again. It clicked again, and like after that, when we formed LBO, it was like, man, I just want to be on a team that's similar.
What was the kind of kickoff idea? Was this something that's been brewing for a while, and this is just kind of the first year that it all came together?
I think that Steve's going to have a different answer to this because they were already developing an idea for Philly before Assembly Required came into the mix. And I had been talking to a lot of the Philadelphia artists here in Asheville about doing a show in Philly. And year after year, it would come up, and year after year, it was just like, you know, are we going to do it? And then I was trying to figure out how to grow Assembly Required. And I really... There were a lot of things in a lot of impediments in the way of growing the event, and I really had a specific vision with the way I wanted to grow it, and moving, you know, creating an alternate event in another location seemed like the best way instead of creating another one here in Asheville at another time of year or somewhere else. Like
when Matt called me, we went back and forth a lot, and I kind of kept thinking about our vision and what we're doing with LBO because we're like, we got a lot cooking, and as Matt's sharing his vision with me, I'm like, well, Matt, if you scope it a little bit different, this is what this means. And Matt's like, okay, but I want to protect the scene. I want to protect the indie artist. When the LBO team, we're like maximalists. Like we get on calls, Corey and I will talk, our whole team will talk. We have a creative meeting like once a week, and it's just like ping pong balls, like going through in the room, just idea. We can build the next one. And then Matt and I started having that same concept. One of the things that we're going to do is do a brand building breakfast, kind of a talk, and really it's going to be a QA. So anybody that wants to get up early enough and is sober enough can come into a room, ask some questions, and we'll talk. And I'd love it if Corey can be. I haven't actually sprung that on Corey, so live he can make a decision. But we're gonna, and that'll be my partner and my work wife and actual wife and my partner and all these things. We help build brands, so we're gonna share what we know with how to help artists who are ready to level up, how to help artists who are ready. They've got an incredibly great idea. And they're really talented, but what are those sort of zigs and zags that they're supposed to be making to take that to the next level, how to know when they're ready. We just want people to get ready. We're developing a program that's really engaging, and like it's an all ages situation. So come on in and have fun.
Woo! Happy everybody.
Hey.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, the freaking shirt, man.
Who's ready for Philadelphia?
Tell us what's going on with your and Kaj's show that you have coming up that is tied into AR. What's going on there, buddy?
I don't really know. I'm not sure what's going on. I just popped into this. I don't know what's happening.
Good. Glad we had you on. That's good info.
We're going on. It's on August 6th.
Mhm.
A lot of our usual crew will be on there.
How many spots did you come up with total there?
40.
That's still a good number.
40 is the top. We're not there yet. So if anybody wants to do a Philadelphia science fiction themed piece, so it's Philly of the future. It's science fiction, but also we're celebrating the great city of Philadelphia, which I've not been to and know very little about.
Well, do you have a piece in the show?
Oh yeah, I do.
Well, that should be interesting then.
I've got a plan. You want me to give you like a little teaser?
Yep, you might as well.
I haven't made it yet, but I want you to think of Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. I got to throw two things out there. Thing number one, my baby is asleep in the house, so I'm in my garage with Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, cool.
Thing number two, this is the second time I have been on the show without Kajuki to promote something that we're both doing together. Is he avoiding you guys? What do you think's going on there?
I don't think he's avoiding us as much as he's avoiding you.
I was thinking that he's trying to like break this romantic tension between him and Crumbs. Like, I'm sick of their like whole Ross and Rachel will they won't they thing that's been going on ever since what happened at Niagara Falls.
It's more than just going across the country to hang out and buy some stuff, dude. It's way more than that. Like, the buying the stuff is like, you know, the sugar on top, man. That's, you know, you get to go home with something that's very cool. But, you know, seeing people that you associate with online and that you interview and just kind of the whole community type feel, that's where it's at, dude. You know what I mean? And I'm excited for the people in Philly to kind of see that and get a piece of that. And
toys.
Oh man, have a safe weekend. Come back next week with all your fingers. Don't be stupid. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? We might as well get started. All right, here we go.
What's going on?
Are we not men?
What's going on? Oh, nothing. Just hanging out on Thursday. What's up with you guys?
Hello.
How many shows have you done?
So this will be my third show. AR in North Carolina was the first show that I actually got to do, and actually did a little road trip with Yo-Yo Dine. So
nice.
That was a blast.
If that's the case, how random is it that you guys both came on this week and we're the only ones that came on this week?
Yeah, well, it works out, right?
And are you just taking just like a ton of stuff out there with you?
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, so I got a lot of tables, and they're all full of projects. Different degrees of doneness, but got a fair bit ready to go. And just working on polishing up some more stuff before time's up. I need the deadlines to give me a kick in the ass. Otherwise, I just don't seem to get anything done. But definitely feeling the pressure now. So it's happening.
I just want a shot. Like, when I'm there, it's like, it's more of a vacation kind of shopping, hang out with people kind of trip. Whereas I feel like smaller cons like AR, or like Punk Fleas, or like those sort of smaller itinerant events, the Toronto guys who are doing that like horror sort of like nostalgia one here in Toronto, like the little pop-up markets, those you get an opportunity to hang out with the other vendors. You're not separated like by a stanchion and a cloth and like a conference hall. Like, you're you're kind of shoulder to shoulder, literally, in some cases, if the space is really small. And it reminds me, for me, the reason that I would suggest that is that I got my start when I was in my teens doing zines. So I used to do zine fairs.
Yeah, for sure. For me, that's what it's about. I mean, I think last time I brought home more than I took, I think. Well, it was just such a good opportunity, right? I mean, beat the shipping and, get to buy it right from the artist, which is, it was awesome. So for me, it's more of an opportunity just to hang out.
At this point, because I've done AR twice now, and I did like the online one before that, like, it's got family reunion vibes.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough trying to try and connect with everyone, though. There's just so much going on, so many people, and it was tough. But again, it was all so much fun. It's finding your tribe is pretty great thing. At the last AR, anyways, there was it wasn't just all resin artists. There was some other mixed medium artists and things like that, and yeah, it was great. It was great seeing, other artists doing, similar, type things, still retro or still, that kind of vibe. And yeah, no, it was great. And yeah, a lot of them had no idea really, about the resin scene, and they were like, what is this shit? Right. Like, so yeah, it was, yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to try and, expand it, the scene a little bit, and get some eyeballs.
Yeah, cross-pollination is like kind of important, right? Like, expand our spheres of influence and inspiration. There's never anything wrong with that. Again, like that's all, we're all sort of under the same umbrella in different sort of places under it, right?
Yeah.
And I love that stuff. I mean, I think seeing even just more of that kind of stuff mixed in is great. Like more customizers, that would be super cool. Like someone who has like a real aesthetic, I have basically every flea market and antique mall between Toronto and Asheville on the route that we took, like pinned on my Google Maps. So
we filled the truck. No kidding.
Oh my God.
We filled it.
Yeah.
So how far is Toronto from Philly?
8 hours.
8-hour drive.
8-hour drive, but yeah, it'll probably take us a little longer with a couple antique mall stops. And...
Oh yeah, with stops for sure.
Yeah. I'm really excited. There's also that was it Space Lab is doing that gallery show with a custom like character that's called the Liberty Bot. It's like a robot Liberty Bell that they're doing with the show. I decided to participate in that because I didn't have to wait for them to mail me one, because I was just like, send me the file, I'll print it myself. Anyone who's interested in coming to Toronto should book May 3rd and 4th of 2026 off.
May 3rd and 4th of 2026.
Yes, sir.
In Toronto.
Yes, sir. If you go to @Toronto Toy Riots, there is a placeholder Instagram account. We are building the website, or we will be, but we booked a venue already.
Who's we?
So far, I kind of took it on myself, and then Jay just came on board to like sort of help run things. Going to try to do something up here. So hopefully we can do a 2-day expo. I'm still working on floor plans, but with the stuff at the venue, we should have space for between 25 and 30 artists.
I think that's a really smart way to go about it, dude. You know what I mean? And to make sure, like, if you really want to put your money where your mouth is and talk about how it's about the artists, and it's about the people that come and support the artists and stuff, I mean, that's a way to do it. Lab 9's going to be there. And I can't believe it, dude, when I see those posts and I see tables of his stuff and Dre's stuff right next to each other. And then you see people just walking by, and I'm just like, these people have no clue.
There is so much work I see in this community that I would buy in a heartbeat if the shipping wasn't equal to the price plus 30 to 40% on top of that for the exchange.
Yeah.
I have had stuff in my cart and then deleted it when it did the calculation because I'm like, I can't justify that purchase. The people who are making the shit are the people who are most enthusiastic about the medium, and we're all just circulating capital among each other to a certain extent, right?
Sure.
It's like, yeah, like the reason that we came home with so many toys from AR from the show too is trades.
Trades.
Yeah, right? Like it's like we're enthusiastic about what each other is doing. I don't think I've ever actually mentioned this before, but like when I first started making stuff, I didn't know that DKE was out there and had blisters, for example. So I was pulling blisters from recycled stuff and using acetone to remove the glue. I was like recycling blisters from other things. And, Dove reached out to me and he was like, because he had, you know how Dove is, he's looking for us, right? Like he's on the hunt. And he reached out and he said, hey man, I sell blisters. It'll really help that like work come together more. And I was like, great, perfect, thank you. And he really was like, also doing that in a way that like he was saying, hey, those recycled blisters don't look great, not in those words, but also saying like, hey, there's a better way to do this. I think Jay said it really eloquently, like finding your tribe or feeling like you find your people or your community, like that's a really meaningful thing, right? And it shows that like it shows how meaningful, like ultimately, because most of us are of a similar age and stuff too, like the era of pop culture and how much meaning that we grew up with and how much meaning it has for so many of us, right? Like this is like, it's like a middle-aged men's support group. Like, this show is very much inspired by the shows like AR because we go, right? And it's like, we want that at home,
Sure.
And just put it on the schedule for everybody. Like,
well, and shit, man, Crumbs is the other half of Toys Alive, and he's in Toronto, so in a way, it's kind of a hometown show. So we'll have to show some major support for that and get involved in any way we can. Thank you guys for your time tonight, and we will check you later.
Yeah, it was nice hanging out again.
Right on, buddy. It's always cool to talk about Assembly Required. and we are absolutely going to beat that thing to death before it actually pops off in about a month. Next week we got General Porpoise will be here. Ocular Rhombus will be here. That's it for this evening. Thank you to Yo-Yo Dine and Grace Cole for coming in this week. And I will talk to you all later. Have a safe weekend later.
Let's do it.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know where Porpoise went. Porpoise is gone. We've always got Ocular Rhombus, Hardest for Dragons, there, Crawler Club. What is going on?
Sure looks so big.
Yeah, Ocular, you get it. 20 for fucking Folgers?
Get out.
Exactly.
Nah.
It's butt water. I'm paying $20 for fucking caffeinated butt water right now. Bullshit. How excited are you guys getting for Designer Con? Must be getting anxious.
Yeah, got a lot of stuff to finish making.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I'm more anxious about the work on the table than I am.
Where are you at in that process, man? I mean, I know Ocular Rhombus, if he has it his way, dude, he's gonna be working up till the time he goes.
You know, I'm all over the place, to be honest. I just released my vinyl figure at 5 points, which passed over the last month. And was the first convention debut of it to kind of gauge what I was going to be doing. So I wasn't sure with Philly because I've never been down to Philly. Well, I have, for this type of a thing. And, I know that we're coming off of I'm a mix. I have resin, I have vinyl. So I'm very anxious to go in here, but I'd like to make sure that I have a good offering of different things. So I'm just kind of all over the place, getting the Gus ready. I got a couple other shows that I'm also painting Gus's for. Gus, to me, is like this whole embodiment of what I've been doing my whole life, which is collecting toys and just loving the weird and naturalness of it. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to, kind of branch out. I've been kind of bogged down the last couple of years and not being able to do some extensive traveling.
How many you rolling with this year? Do you have a number in mind? Last year it was what, 200?
Last year was 200 or close to it.
One-offs.
Yeah. So these are part of what I'm calling the Philadelphia collection. So it's just the ones that I've made for this show, and I'm at, for that one, I think it's at like 40 pieces that are brand new.
Some of the stuff I took to assembly required in February was that it was like the Greek sculptures that have been turned into dinosaurs, and I've got some other things like that I'm working on, like this guy. I broke him, so I have to. I'm rough on my work as I'm doing things with it, and so.
Is that an assembly required thing, or just the smaller version?
The smaller stuff definitely is. If I've got 2.5 weeks, I might be able to get this done, but I'm not counting on it, because also casting in concrete does more wear and tear on your molds than even the resin does, and so I don't want to rush it just for the sake. As much as I really want it for Philly, I don't want to rush it just to have one of them sitting on the table, because I bought myself a rolling stack of like Craftsman toolboxes that
that's my idea.
I just pack it full, and if it doesn't fit in there, it doesn't come with me.
Yeah, I got the same setup, and basically my entire website stock just lives like stored in cases ready for transit. So like I basically just take my entire website with me to the show.
I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna bring a smorgasbord of things, and like these guys, it's the same thing, right? I'm gonna pack. I have a big giant like husky thing that rolls out with me. I can pack it full of a variety of different stuff at different price points. I got a variety of my resin characters. I'll have a little bit of my new vinyl characters, and just kind of see how it goes. For me, it's more about I just want to get out there, get people to hear the name of the Crawler Club and stuff like that as I go, and go from there. And I'll learn, because it's the first time I've been there. I'll learn. The things that you don't think are going to sell will sell or get asked about if you don't put it on the table. And the things that you think are going to sell, you'll have either later or they'll never sell. That's the thing. You never know.
Like, I don't try to make things that I think, oh, people are going to want to buy this. This is going to sell. It's like I'm going to make what I like, that I think is funny or just creative and like what works for me.
But you bring stuff too that like it may have been sitting around for a while, and then all of a sudden somebody sees it in person at a show, and it's like, I sold 2 pieces like that at the last assembly required, that like I just kind of bring because they're cool and they were expensive. I didn't think anybody would just flat out buy them, but like they were like, oh, how much is that? Don't balk at the price. They want it immediately, and it's just okay, cool.
I tend to keep a lot of different price points. Like I'm like really all over the spectrum. I think when I first started, I started out doing pins and artwork in that style, and then kind of jumping in through there and doing stickers. And now stickers is a whole nother primary bread and butter side of my table, along with the pins. They're good grab and goes. If somebody comes over, maybe they've never heard of soft vinyl, or because I find myself explaining soft vinyl side a lot more now than before, or even the production of the resin and who I'm collabing with, who might be pulling my resin, my design work, and what we're choosing to do as the release. If it's something that might be just a little bit out of their realm, maybe they're just coming to the show, right? Especially with Philly, I thought a lot anyways, that it being one of the first big ones in Philly for a long, long time, people are probably going to come and not even really know what they're going to expect. And they're going to come into a big room with a table every 6 feet with a new crazy personality there that, you know, is trying to say, hey, come look at my stuff. And so if you get that opportunity to talk to somebody, they might say, well, I'm not prepared to spend $25, $35, $40, $100, but having something in that $5 to $10 price range, and they really like you and the interaction they got for having that fun day, and it's a souvenir to them, it's just something they like, is always very good to have on the table. So sticker packs, like you were talking about, I'll definitely have stickers, and I bring an entire sticker machine, and I run like a whole like a carnival style thing where you can win a prize if you pull a certain sticker out of it, and there's all different stickers in there, and then I have sticker packs for that. And it's a great way to interact with people, you know, there and everything too. So
I like the idea of something that I made being on someone else's shelf halfway across the world or wherever, you know, in another state, somewhere where I've never been. Like, that's cool. That's like, it's a piece of me, you know, somewhere in California, whatever, or in Philadelphia. But it's also obviously like, you know, you've been to this show before. So it's a successful show is also the vibe of the show and all the conversations you have with everybody and just the experience of it.
You do want to make back your costs, like, but that's not like the measure of success. That's just kind of like just something you want to do. Like, and AR is a little different. Like, if I didn't make back my costs, I don't think I would be super upset about it, because like Vomiting Droids has called it like a toy maker summer camp, where it's like this is one of the times where all of us from all over the place get to spend actual time in the same place together and like talk about ideas and projects or stuff not related to any of this at all, just other things, because like we've become like actual true friends with each other.
Man, dude, you know what? Between guests and pieces, and yeah, all right. So this is a thing. Go ahead. Go ahead. Between pieces and guests and giveaways tonight, dude, we got a lot of people showing up. Plus everybody in the chat, man. It's gonna be a good one, dude. Representing a lot of people tonight. What's up with you, man? I'll let you get through that monster bite of potato there.
Okay, ready or not, here you come.
Say ready or not, let's do it.
Boom.
Gentlemen, what is happening? How is everybody?
What up? What up? Yo, hold on. Who said that? Like, it's unlikely that the three of us would be hanging out and shit, and like that we can't be friends. Who said that?
I'm just saying, if I saw you in individual aisles of Walmart, I wouldn't then assume you're all going home to do this later. That's all.
I don't know. I think.
Well, I mean, two of us are bald and have beards, so I mean, we're already halfway there. So yeah.
We just became best friends.
Kess looks like he's there to rob the place, anyways. So.
That's my kind of people right there.
Yeah, right.
What up, Kez? What up, Dan? I'm just salute to you, gentlemen. Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, everybody? My name is the Playful Gorilla, aka Alex. I'm a Philly-based toy designer. I do everything. I do everything from illustrations to logos. You name it, I do it. If you're gonna pay me creatively, I got you.
Just ran 40 shirts in the last day, so did a bunch of tie-dye work and whatnot. I wanted to put something colorful on the table since I'm typically working in black and white. So got a throw up another little guy here. So if you're into some like pink and orange, we got this guy rolling around. And I'm gonna throw some. I'm probably gonna throw some backer screen prints on some of the shirts as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in Philadelphia. I'm always a huge fan of coming out, especially since Assembly is going to be out there, because I like to try to get out to all that stuff every year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad there's a show coming to town. You know, I've been doing all the shows since 2020, just like right after COVID opened up, and yeah, I mean, there's just the closest thing to here was 5 Points, and that's not that close. And so I'm excited, man, and everyone's coming to town, and yeah, it's gonna be great, man.
Every time I see Eddie at a show, I like immediately go over to his table because he has like sick kick-ass colored stuff, and then like you walk over to my table and I'm like mainly black and white stuff, and I concentrate on the figure. But like then you'll see somebody like Playful Gorilla, or you'll see Cool Cat Toy Company. You know, like there's like so much different stuff. But I'm like, I want to see like what other people are like producing and like what do people make? Like, why do they want to make it?
I'm bringing everything, man. I'll be that guy that you can go get stickers, pin, posters, prints, fucking dongs if I can print them in time. I'll bring everything. It's a mentality I've used over the course of years running these shows, right? Like it's my first time, so I don't know the audience yet. So this is a little bit of kind of peering behind the window. So I want to figure out what the audience looks like, and I'm almost assuming the audience is going to show up may not wrap their heads around what designer toys are and bootleg toys are and toys period. So you got to hit them over the head, and sometimes you got to hit them with something that's a little bit more manageable, a little pin, a little sticker, a little print in the life. If I'm able to lock you in and I could talk toys with you when you bought a sticker from me, let's make it happen. That's why we kind of, we got to, I'm working from the bottom up, and I'm trying to get, make sure that the scene kind of keeps thriving. You know what I mean?
Some of these people that buy this stuff off you, some of them are like, I don't know, I don't want to say timid, but like some people, they're not artists, and you have to take that extra minute to pay attention to someone, and people come to see you. I learned that over the last couple of years. Like people watch on social media, and then like you might not know them when they walk up to you, but they've been watching you, and like you have to maintain relationships and stuff. I just think it's important that people have a good experience at your booth.
Yeah, I had to go back to a few originals here. Yeah, I also got a copy. Let me see. I got one more here I can show you. Here, we got some feral cats as well. I know they're running around in Philly just as much as in Pittsburgh. So
those are badass, dude. So. There's blood at the top and fucking cum at the bottom. It's a weird thing,
Cock socks.
I'm gonna do a one-off serial killer with a sock on his dick.
I want to produce like 30 more figures just to like bring out with me, because I usually like bring a ton of stuff and then like I just kind of show the table of like. Looks pretty minimal, but like I got the stock underneath. But I always try to like make my setups like more toy centric, but then I'll walk to somebody else's table and they'll sell a ton of stuff and they put like the entire world like out on their table, and I'm like, man, maybe I should do that at some point.
These marbled speed skulls on my store for sale.
Oh, those are fucking dope.
Oh yeah, man. Eddie, you need to learn how to knit, dude, and you can be the guy who knits the socks. How about that?
Look, I've been knitting these. I might be making some of these for the show.
Oh, you did? I forgot about that.
Shit.
Yeah, yeah. Put it on, dude. Put it on.
Hold on. Let me take
watch this maniac. Watch this shit.
This motherfucker.
Oh,
this is the kind of cool shit that you can only see out there. Yo, that's fire. Is there any way you can make like a tubular size one, a little smaller? You know what I'm saying?
Anything else? Where's that it? Boom. See? Now that's just Playful Gorilla. That's just how it happens on the show.
They had plenty of opportunity. Here.
No, good.
No.
That's cool. Retrozone Neon will be on the show next week with Zimico and with the Duke will be in the house. We'll probably do a post like right before AR and just list who's been on the show, dude. It's been by the time we're done, it'll be well over a dozen for sure within the last few weeks, which is very cool.
I love how it's in your brain already plotted that that's what you're going to do, but you're like, oh, clumsy man, you just wait what we have planned.
Me,
like, all right, yeah.
It's all the same.
You want to bring these yahoos in?
We might as well. Let's do it.
We might as well, I suppose.
They showed up. So what is
going on
everybody? Dookie McSmart. I'm gonna start over. Dookie McFartsniffle, aka Retro Toys. Duke, what's going on, dude?
Man, just working, gearing up, getting ready for this show in Philadelphia. Super excited. First time vending outside of my states.
Retrozone Neon, Jesse, we'll just go with you, man. So where we at, man? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, man. This is going to be awesome. Like, I'm glad to have the opportunity to do this because I live here. So it was kind of a low barrier of entry. And because this is going to be my first show. I've been to a million of them, but this is going to be my first time vending and showing. So it's been a big investment in terms of time and money and everything, but I think it's going to be so worth it just for meeting people alone. So it's going to be awesome. I think it'll be a lot easier going forward because I bought the stickers and the table logo and the riser stand and all that stuff that you need.
Yeah.
So I have that now. So going forward, it should be easier. But for this time, yeah, it's first time for sure.
Yeah, dude. And thank you for backing up on that, because when you said that you hadn't, that there was some money commitment involved, I'm like, well, you're in Philly. What are you buying? But it being your first time tabling, there is that stuff. But like you said, dude, I'm sure that'll come in handy down the road. But Zimico's done everything. So what do you got?
Well, I've got 10 more my troll crucifixes.
Nice. Awesome.
They've been selling out at every show. They've been big. So I don't know.
Really?
So I made 10 more of those. I don't really use like existing IPs a lot, so it's I kind of know that that's part of the success of it, and it's not really something I like to lean on most of the time. I made 96 little worms and caterpillars to give away. They're like these guys.
Oh, those worms, dude.
Like this is a caterpillar because it has a cat head.
I'm trying to bring, some smaller things, some smaller items that are, non-articulated, non-action figure necessarily, just like cute and fun things as well. I feel like it's important to have like a range of things to have. I've got some carded figures that I'm going to bring, just a few, but I'll be bringing primarily my one-off figures and having those up for display. So I've got like a little peg tower that rotates, and I'll be able to put some figures on there. But yeah, I'm feeling like, a lot of times at a show or if I'm vending, somebody wants to leave with at least something, and who knows how long of a procession it's been before they've gotten to you. So sometimes people just want to get something, and so I like having a little something, cheap something for people who are maybe not so invested, and then maybe for those who are seeking me out, kind of those more specific things.
Bro, I've just been doing the like shotgun approach. I'm just making stuff. Like I stopped to count the other day whenever I was like sanding bottoms, because I'm like, this is taking forever, and I had like 120 something things made, and I'm like, I didn't have anything like 2 weeks ago, so I've got new sculpts, old sculpts, like some bootleg stuff, some original stuff, just everything, to be honest with you. And I'm doing these like giant versions. they're just 3D printed, like cheap, but I'm gonna have at least a couple of these. Like they're not really for like sale, but maybe I'll have a couple extras if someone really wants one. But I'm thinking like sticking these on the table up high is like, hey, look at me, and then like I'll have all my junk on the table. I don't know.
Oh, there's
yeah, you got it.
Very
That's
nice.
my drop for next week. Here's my this week's drop. So this is my display for, so there's a few things.
Dude, it's a straight up waffle factory is what's going on here.
I love the
It's
Egypt
kind of
stuff.
sloppy, but yeah, I have an Egyptian section. Yeah.
Jesse, what about you, man? Last thing before you get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm debuting a lot of new stuff. So like, I've got these ghosts. I'll show off like the cool hot marbly one.
Cool.
I've got several of these come into the show that are brand new. I'm also been making these like little Grim Reapers that are going to be new at the show. Got a bunch of them also all marbled up. I'm gonna have like rollies. I've got like this sprinkle guy. We're gonna have like Rolly Zillas, like I showed this one before. I got them all marbled up. Got some glow ones and some stuff like that. First time doing a release of these Smileys, I think is what I call them, which was like my Apocalyptico piece from this year. So I cast it up. Some of them, they're all gonna be super reactive, kind of glowy.
Well, I'm bringing a ton of stuff. I'm bringing a bunch of things that I've been trying to keep a secret for a little while. One of the figures I'll be releasing is this guy right here. This is continuing in the Revenant line that I did for the Robot Resurrection show.
Cool. Thank you guys for being on. Best of luck, and we'll see you next week. Well, I guess we should probably pull them in.
Let's just pull them in.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys?
Here we are.
What was the goal behind this show, basically?
Well, I mean, as you remember in our early talks with MJ when we were all setting this up, Eddie was going to be the one doing the gallery show, Resin Blood, and we had kind of tacitly put together that retro sci-fi themed show, and so that was kind of the basis, the backing to it. And then Eddie was too busy to really handle doing all that, and so brought in some new help in putting the show together. And they wanted to go lean into the Philly thing a little bit. So it seems a little random to throw Philly of the Future together, but I think it kind of works, at the same time. But yeah, that was it. We kind of merged the two ideas together. That's the same theme with the gallery show that's going on tomorrow night down there or over there. And yeah, it's an interesting theme, and I think everybody showed up great for it. I also thought, is it like a great way for some of these guys that either they're overseas or they're just not able to get to the show. We even had, some guys that are more AR staples like Pickman, he's not able to get to Philadelphia. So he put in a piece. So I felt like it was a good way to get people involved in AR that really want to.
that's all we have for Philly of the Future here.
That wraps it up. Philly of the Future. Is a thing of the past.
Wraps it up. My goodness. Okay, so what's up next for you guys? What kind of show you guys got throwing next?
We're starting our Showdown series. So the first one is Kaiju v Robo. So it's big Japanese monsters versus big Japanese robots.
And I think that here we can announce that the next Showdown will be Evangelists versus adult film stars.
Snakes versus planes. Ernest Goes to Camp versus Hellraiser 3. We got a great group of artists in these chats that everybody's got pinball brains.
You know, I love Ronald McDonald too. Do you think they're brothers?
Oh my gosh. I think at that point we're probably ready to get there.
To peace out.
Right? Gentlemen, I appreciate all the work that you guys do in the toy scene in general. It's always a blast seeing the shows that you come up with. This was probably one of the most fun episodes we've had in a very, very long time. So thank you for coming and hanging out. You want to pull these yahoos and
let's do it, dude. They've been sitting there for 20 minutes already.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. How was assembly required for you, my man?
You know, it was so much fun. Like, I got to see people that I only met once or twice, or I've never met. Like, I got that piece, even though he was at assembly required you know, in February. I didn't get a chance to actually meet him, so I got to table like 2 tables away from him. I got to meet the box, got to hang out the Box Squad dude again. I picked up one of those toys as well. It was a blast. You know, like seeing people I only see in February. Now I get to see them like also in my home city. Made everything like so much easier, and so I was super chill and I had just so much fun. I highly recommend it.
Future Retroistic Magazine, my man. What is going on with you?
Yo, what's good?
Cash Brand, Tape Feed, or Future Retroistic? Which one do you want?
You could call me
or
Dave.
your real name, your government name.
You could call me Dave.
Your booth, man. What I really liked about that was all the artists that you were representing, man. Was that a concept that you came up with when you decided to have a table there? Was that something that you wanted to do, or did that just kind of fall into place from other people asking?
Oh, yeah, it was something we wanted to do. You know, because the magazine, we like to have a bunch of different artists together. I did that online show, the Robotic Galactic Graffiti Funk Tech Show.
Yes.
And I put the idea out to that group chat, and I was like, hey, is anybody interested to show some work, you know, at the AR with me at the table? And Leon jumped on right away and was super interested to get his work in the States, you know, and I was able to line up some really great artists, and it was a lot of fun to create the display to try to show everybody off, you know.
You've been at both venues, right? For Assembly Required in Asheville and then Philly. In comparison, dude, give me a couple things that stand out for you, either good or bad.
Yeah, so I loved the new spot in Asheville. Is great. You know, the first one had so much character, but the new one had so much more space and better lighting, and so it was great there. But you know, the Philly spot, the 23rd Street Armory, I do punk rock flea markets there every 3 months, and I usually draw the flyers and do those. So that space is huge. It felt good to like walk around. It wasn't crowded, because there was times when like in front of certain people's booths it would get mobbed, and I love to see that, you know. But it didn't stop. So like if someone was blocking, you know, Cash's table, they could just walk around and still get to mine, no problem, you know. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it also had like a different vibe, you know, because I've been doing toy shows for a few years. I've done like 5 Points. I've done Collective Con. I've done, you know, a lot of them. And I saw people that I like have never seen before. You know, I've only seen on the internet. And so the difference of seeing something on like your phone versus in real life is, you know, great.
Cash, was this your first show that you've done?
It was the first show tied with the magazine, yeah. But
Nice.
we had done some like Comic Con type of stuff with the Rude Panda comic. It was great. Yeah, a lot of people were surprised by it because it's just pictures, and they're like, where's all the articles and stuff? And it's more of like an inspirational type of thing, you know. I don't get to make them that often. I get to make them whenever I have time to like sit around and spend that much time on it, you know. And so I wanted to inspire other people to be creative, and yeah, it's kind of just like a bunch of photos that I had taken throughout my life with like doing graffiti, you know, and then collaging it with like all the toys of people that I get to like have in the issue. I'll contact people and get different photos from everybody. As far as shows go, I'm not sure what we're going to do next, but we might be trying to organize something pretty soon. Like kind of like the table, but expanded so we actually have artists there. You know what I mean?
Any leftovers that you have, dude? Are you doing any type of stuff, or just going back into the online shop?
I'm like literally spent most of my day today trying to set up an online shop so that I could, you know, get stuff, you know, in people's hands that can't make it to the shows, because a few people DM'd me. But yeah, that's the next up for me, because I've got this toy coming out. I've had it in prototype for a while, but it didn't work at this size. So this is about 4 inches, and now the finished one's going to be like 11 inches tall.
Holy shit!
Yeah. And then I have, and B, you put this in my brain, dude, and it hasn't left. Talked about doing like a one-off show with a bunch of artists. So I just reached out to my producer, Paul at Mile High, to get some more of these made. And so if you're an artist watching this, you like to paint vinyl toys, and you're interested in it, hit me up. And I'm trying to put together like a one-off show.
We're gonna do some bundles, bundle together some stuff, and see if people want to do something like that, right? Like we could do like a Pikmin's Play-Doh set, right? Look at that.
Yes, dude, that was so cool to see those in person.
Right, like in my hand, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then, you know, or one of his GI Joe, when Robot was melting. So cool. And then, you know, package it up with some like a Roco mashing. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, right. And probably one of the Phillyofthephuture that he did specifically for the Philly show. Try a couple packs like that, and then otherwise put some stuff on the website, but also hold some stuff so I can do it at the next show, you know, and represent some people with some of their stuff again.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you for your time. Again, it was cool seeing both you guys there you go. It was cool seeing you guys, of course, man. And hopefully we will see you at the next one, whenever that is. Those guys both had great booths, dude. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 booths in between both of them. Gumskull being one of them, so I know they got a good look at that table. But next week we are going to see HH Toys, Jason Lex, ETC, Donner Don't Care, Bad Mojo Toys, Playful Gorilla, Retro Zone Neon, Bog Squad, Green Plastic Tunnels, Gloopy Goblin, and Fat Hand Toys.
All right, what is going on, guys? I don't know if anybody saw that. I looked all stupidly down, like, am I on mute? Just to double check, because, of course, B's not going to let me know I'm on mute this time. It's just me. If any of you haven't actually clued into that yet, B will be joining us approximately 45 minutes, maybe an hour in, so you're stuck with my ugly mug for the whole first little half of this. We have quite the amount of guests coming in. Gloopy Goblin, we've got friggin' Cool Cat Toy Co., and then, of course, we've got Raygun Wizard. Now, Raygun Wizard and, yeah, okay. So, yeah. I need to have something, so that's why I wanted to give you your moment here. What the fuck is that even? Is that like a meat tray that you just have taped to your head?
This is a SpongeBob hat from Super 7, believe it or not.
Okay, fair enough. And then
It
we're
came
gonna
in like a San Diego Comic-Con like Happy Meal type pack. Like, yeah, to keep the tradition going.
You have to keep the tradition going. I don't think I've seen a mask in a moment. It's been a moment. Gloopy Goblin, what is going on, man?
Yo, what up? Yo, I'm Gloopy. I just started making toys like a year and a half ago, maybe. I collected a lot of vintage stuff, and then started hanging out with like Eddie. And in 2018, I went to 5 Points Festival, and I found out that people were like making their own toys, and so I started collecting a lot. And I mostly just do a lot of like street art and installations and paste ups and stickers and slaps and shit. And I've been collecting for a long time, so I wanted to make my own stuff. And yeah, I just made my first vinyl toy this year, and I have another one coming out soon, but I can't talk about it yet. So
Cool Cat, dude, we know you, but go solo for a moment. You're gonna give us a quick little rundown, my friend.
Yeah, I'm Grant, otherwise known as Cool Cat Toy Co. I'm from Eastern North Carolina. I've been making toys and sculpting and everything for, dang, 5 years now. You know, I'm a pandemic baby, and yeah, I always got new stuff coming out. Shell Shock's been doing great. New versions of him coming eventually.
I think 5 Points was like the first one I did, and last year or this year, I guess, was the third time I did it. But that's like the first one, and then I was at Collecticon. Shout out Collecticon, homies. That was really fun in Chicago. The pier was like a really cool venue, and I had a lot of cool homies there. So yeah, it was really good. And then, you know, I was just excited that there was finally going to be a show in my hometown, and that, you know, I'm really good friends with Eddie Resin Blood, and it was just cool. And, you know, HH Toys, Sam Heimer, who's also, shout out Sam, like, incredible toy maker. And yeah, I was just excited that there was going to be a show in my town, because I'm fucking sick of traveling, dude, for this shit, you know, when you're vending. You know, this is something I've been talking about recently with a lot of friends too. It's like, you know, the travel costs add up a lot, and unless you have like a wicked expensive toy or just like lots of stuff on your table, those costs add up. So yeah, I think for me, the reason why I do, obviously, is to like help support the creation of my toys and my art and stuff. But I think, you know, meeting a bunch of the other artists is like a really cool thing too. And I think like by the second day, you know, everyone's pretty wiped out. So I think it's like that's when everyone kind of goes around and like trades and talks to each other. And I think that's like a really special thing that you only kind of get at those types of events.
Were you tabling solo?
I was not tabling solo. It was a solo trip for me though. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Did you end up driving or flying?
I was driving. Yeah. Drove up Friday before the show, which might have been a mistake. It was supposed to take like 6.5, but it ended up taking me 8 and some change. Yeah, Friday night I was my little shell shop boxes have all these stickers on them and everything. It's a couple of the stickers on the boxes are thermo label printed, so it's like the same printer that I use for my shipping labels and everything. But I ran out of time to do them at home, so I was up at like midnight in my hotel room just printing out stickers and slapping them to the boxes and everything. But yeah, it all worked out. Yeah, it was for my first solo trip because I'm used for my family like taking over the driving while I'm doing other stuff. It was a experience, I should say. Very much so a learning experience. But yeah, I was exhausted, to say the least.
I'm using a lot of vinyl wonder paint, and it cures pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean, I painted the night before, so I had like 10 hours to cure. And then like the first day, it sat for at least a couple more hours. So, but I mean, yeah, most of the other shit was like you know, done beforehand.
When you guys are at conventions and you're supposed to be selling, how hard is it not to be just scooping up like a handful of things like bog squads?
Very hard. And another thing for me is I'm terrible, especially people that I don't already know. I'm terrible at going around to other tables and actually seeing what's at the show. So I did not know that Box Squad was there until just now. I think I did mostly trading at the show, which I was trying not to be an asshole to people because they would come up and be like, hey, would you want to do a trade? And I was like, yo, I'm going to be real. I'm broke. So I don't know. I'm going to see how much I can sell. But, you know, Sunday's usually the day that it's a little slower. So you start going around and you hear the voices in your head. So
when you want to trade with someone, it's tough because like sometimes it's like you want the thing, but you also like need inventory too. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things too, like, especially with resin stuff, like, unless you're just doing some like really easy dump molds or like stuff that's just like, I don't know, like maybe low, like maybe not as much effort or like smaller or like stuff like that. Like it's tough. I feel like, especially if you do like low runs of stuff. So, but yeah, if you both have your eye on something that you both like and it's like you both want to trade, it feels so good, you know, because definitely when you're making toys, it's like I said, it's tough to like spend money on toys too. So,
yeah.
So out of curiosity, did you guys all get a chance to meet each other when you were at AR?
I talked with Cool Cat a little bit. I think I picked up one of your Grimhorn pieces. It's probably like one of my favorites from the show. I don't know if I talked with Gloopy at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just like quickly when I was walking by, I just said like, hey, what's up? And that like Eddie, I was over at Eddie's studio and he was like painting your toy up. But
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Cool Cat, like I've seen your stuff because I know Eddie tattooed you and like we've chatted a couple times, but we haven't had a whole lot of time to like hang out. But it's the same kind of thing. Like I've seen him vending, we said hello, you know.
Yo, Ray Gun Wizard, you kind of, because you weren't here at the beginning, I forced everybody to have that awkward moment where they go solo mode and tell everybody quickly who they are, what they kind of do. So I'm going to pull you solo for a second, just so you can kind of introduce yourself to the homies in the chat here.
Sure, yeah. Sorry I'm late again. I just moved to St. Louis, so I'm like kind of getting used to the central time. But Ray Gun Wizard or Eli, if we ever meet in person, you can come say hi. Been doing like resin toys for probably 10 years since college, and just got into Sofubi like last year. And so I have like my first figure, Cube Head. It's kind of like what I got going on right now. He's kind of just like based off of an old like resin bootleg that I was working on kind of in my spare time in my mid-20s. But yeah, I just did a assembly card with these guys, picked up a whole bunch of stuff, and just happy to be here. Appreciate the invite. So I used to do like bootleg resin toys, right? So he was like a Mechaneck character, like a Motu character, and I just kind of like took apart the head and some of the inner parts and just sculpted around the torso and the legs and gave him like. So it's been a long time. Been working on stuff for a while. Not like super consistent until the past couple of years, but.
So how, if you don't mind my asking, with that much experience, then have you done many shows, or was this kind of still one of the more first ones for you?
This was like the second one that I did. I was talking with Eddie too, and I was surprised how many people got in during COVID. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to have, so I have like another figure coming out. I'm really psyched to have him available at the next show. Yeah, some Void Boys here.
I'm digging that, dude. And these guys are resin?
Yeah, they're like, so this first run was rotocasted. with like smooth on 65D or something. I was able to get like probably 5 or 6 pieces out of one kit. So, you know, sell one of those for like $45, and then you can buy a whole other kit if you want.
Cool Cat, you had 50 pieces. How do you not get bored looking at that, doing a run, getting ready for a show like this?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do? Yeah, fair. Well, okay.
Yeah, you can ask my family. I'm in the worst mood possible up before a show. I'm like, I don't want to do this ever again. And then
It's
I come back from the
dude, I'm telling you, that shit sucks sometimes, bro. Like,
it's like I
set
enjoy.
a timer. All right, pull it out. Set a timer. Pull
It just gets
out.
monotonous, you know.
Dude,
It just
yeah.
gets monotonous, especially when you're doing a run and everything. But I usually procrastinate up until like 3 to 2 weeks before the show, and then I just start cranking shit. It just gets a little overwhelming. But then I come back from the show and I see everybody and reminded of how great the community is, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again.
Yeah,
And then
that's wild.
I have 3. I have not counted them up, but I have 3 sets of molds for Shell Shock. So that's like 10 to 12 molds. You know, a lot of them are small, and then I use cake pans to lower them down in the pressure pot. So yeah, it's a lot of work.
Dude, you're literally getting Cool Cat's blood, sweat, and tears when you buy a turtle.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But they're quality though. Those are like
I mean, yeah,
some of
they
the best
look
resin
sick.
toys I've ever seen. I think I'm gonna do this like Zectron collab that I've been working on. I'm gonna probably do a release for this maybe Sunday.
Decon, I'll be there with some new shit. But October 1st, I got to drop new vinyl figure. It's a surprise.
Nice.
So yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Gloopy Goblin, for that. And yeah, I don't have too much stuff from AR, but I do have some ceramic stuff left over, and I do have a new colorway of the goblins coming out soon. So yeah, just stay tuned for that.
Lay it out for us, my dude. And you also have to include what the plans for that mustache are. We need to know if it's going to keep coming.
It's in the Lord's hands, as we said. Right now, since I've gotten back from Philly, I've been lazy, and we've also just rescued a new kitten, so I've been not getting back to my work as I should have been. But this is just a normal Shell Shock. But I do have some ideas that are in the works for Shell Shock, some new versions. I told some people at AR what I have in mind, and I think it's gonna be pretty rad. I'm not gonna wear out the turtles, but I like turtles.
We are going to have Yo-Yo Dine and Professor Pickman sneaking in as we go over all these fantastic pieces for the Silent But Deadly 2025. Okay, Crumb's going to shut up. We're going to pull in the host for the show. You guys ready? Okay. Boom. Boom.
Greetings, Shadow Warriors. I am the discount overnight Amazon ninja.
I am the. This is not at all a robe belt headband ninja.
Does it smell nice and weird too? Like
oh yeah, it smells. It's probably some sort of toxic combination of rayon and polyester. Apparently, it's UV rays.
Well, and then you got to drench it in formaldehyde to prevent any kind of like molding or bugs before you package it up, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in one of those like vacuum formed like.
What ended up making you decide to go with ninjas? Let's be real. Everybody's a young man, loves ninjas. I don't think we've had anything close to a ninja show. What brewed this for you?
When did we talk about it, Josh? I think we talked about it in Asheville.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it sitting outside the Puppet Slam at Asheville. So back in February.
Yeah, we were just like, hey, we should do a show together, and we were like, all right, and then we kind of just
you came up with
yeah, and we were just like, well, we'll think about it, and then all of a sudden, and I mentioned ninjas briefly, and then we talked about it for a bit, and then we let it go, and then like maybe a week or two before we put out the call and show, and like so we selected a date, and all I did was send him a message at like, I don't know, in the middle of the day that was just all caps that just said silent but deadly. Yeah,
I think even B and I talked about it, going through and like getting them all saved, right? Like you've seen them, but you don't quite take them in for what they are. You're not quite breaking down like the pieces that are there. You might miss even like the captions. You go back, we read the captions, and you're like, oh shit, okay, that's what's going on here.
Yeah, it's different too, because this is the first time I've ever put together an online show like this.
Same.
Yeah, so it was like, it's different. Like I've done in-person stuff with like E2K and stuff, but I've never done anything like that. So I wasn't really ready for that moment of like just maximal signal for like 40 minutes. Having not thrown one of these, but seeing how they were put together and just be like, all right, we have a hashtag, we have this account. Like as soon as the open call closed, I did the graphics. Like we sent the same, basically more or less the same email that just had everything right from the beginning. Like here's how we're gonna do it. And I think we sent it 3 times.
Yeah.
And that seemed like totally adequate. Mostly, I'm looking forward to just being able to sit here and like look at everything.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really excited to see some of these pieces.
Well done, everybody. Thank you so much.
Oh, damn, man.
Totally made my day. My day started out like in a rather shitty place, so this is a beautiful way to. It's a beautiful way to end it for sure.
Dude, everybody nailed it, man.
Yeah.
The amount of uplift there is just from seeing all that amazing work is really, really great.
Yeah,
and hey,
no,
I've been wearing it this whole time. I've got to make the other UHF joke, and I guess it's time to take this ridiculous thing off.
Damn. That was quite the reveal there.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like I've been lied to all this time, and that the mustache was fake the entire time I've known it.
Purple blue swirl I purposely had sitting here tonight because I want to be thinking about that shit. Good old bootleg toy for the road. You guys have a great rest of your night. Beautiful pieces. Take care. See you next Wednesday. How many of these freaking dudes do you have? You must have like every colorway.
19.
I knew it was going to be a lot. I didn't expect 19, man. That really cracked me up, homie. That's friggin' beautiful. Yeah. I knew, because even the way you were looking over there, you're like, you can do figures in different ways. I'm like, you're looking at their case. Like, I knew you were looking at a case of their work.
Yeah.
But look at 19. You're hilarious, dude.
God, dude, what about we should probably just talk to him about this, but we'll talk first. The Motu Star Wars mashups. How about those, dude? God, those are good. Dude, let's bring PVC in. Let's chop it up.
You guys are good to come on in?
Look at Jason getting ready, like, all right, I'm ready.
That's just it. They know the drill. They're like, well, I'm not going to freaking sit here and break my back if they're going to talk
they're
nonsense.
So chill, dude. They're so chill. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How's it going?
Good.
For those at home, why don't you just do a quick little introduction, let them know who you guys are and what you do in the scene here tonight for us.
I'm Jason.
I'm Nicole.
And we're Plastic Vomit Customs. Basically, we do resin 3D printed figures, but we also do some kit bash figures as well. Started out doing just kit bash and then bought a 3D printer and started kind of dabbling with that. And now we've got multiple 3D printers and do mostly 3D print figures.
Let's talk about this new one that you guys got, dude. Captain EO.
Funky McClunky actually did the print files for those. We basically have like a partnership with Funky McClunky and Vivid Motion Customs now. Where,
okay.
Like it started out with Vivid Motion Customs back in probably like 2023. I had asked him about making a sleeve stack file for me. And he said that he would put it on his list sometime in 2024, later 2024. Like I completely forgot about it by the time he got back to me. And he's like, hey, I got this sleeve stack file for you. And he basically just wanted to give it to me to sell. Like I kept on trying to offer him money for making it, and he wouldn't take any money for making this file. And we started making them and selling them, and they were like gangbusters. Like it was probably one of the best like selling figures we ever did that sold that much quickly. You know what I mean? Like we have a lot of figures that have sold a lot over the years, but those like nobody had ever made a sleeve stack figure before. So anybody who ever wanted one, like this was their chance to get it. So once they started kind of going crazy, I contacted Mike at Vivid Motions. I'm like, listen, I was like, I'm going to give you some money for this because I feel bad that we're selling all these and you're not getting compensated for it, basically. So, but at the same time, he had all these other original sculpt print files, like a whole catalog full of awesome other print files. I was like, why don't we make an arrangement and I'll start making your figures and I'll give you like a flat rate fee for every one we sell. That way he's making money off of it. We've got this huge new catalog of figures we can make. Because before, like the way that he made his money is he just made the print files and then would sell the print files to people. And they had to have like a 3D printer and all the equipment that comes with 3D printing and then know how to prep the figures and paint them, you know what I mean, in order to get one of those figures. Or he sold the blank figures as well, but then they still had to be able to like paint them and make them look good. So it really cut back on the kind of people, the amount of people who could actually make those, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody has the time to do that or the skills to do it. I basically kind of figured up like a flat rate of what he would basically make anyways if somebody was going to buy the file from him, like basically an average amount. And that's just, I just give him that fee for every figure that we sell. We basically just came up with a flat rate, so it wasn't like a bunch of different numbers. I just keep track of like what sells, and then at the end of every month, I pay him out for that many figures. So he really doesn't even have to do anything for it. I mean, not that he doesn't do it. He made the files, but you know what I mean? Like, he sent me all of his files for free, so I just have like every one of them to print from, and I keep track of all the figures that we make from his files, and then I just send him basically a paycheck at the end of every month through PayPal. But so it really, like I said, it really opened it up to where a lot more people could get those figures that didn't have access to all that other stuff, and it opened it up where we could make a ton more figures. We've kind of been doing that with Vivid Motions for a while, and then I was like, well, we've been buying like the Star Wars files from Funky McClunky for a long time. I was like, I might as well see if he wants to do basically the same thing. That way he'd be making the money from us giving him per figure for everyone that prints. And we'd have like a whole nother catalog of figures we could make. Like this figure right here, that's printed with red resin for the red. So like if the figure is mostly red, we'll print this figure in red resin. That way there's no paint rub on the arms or the leg joints. Because if you have a gray figure, you have to paint all that figure. And then it's got paint rub where the joints are at. You know what I mean?
Is it like a T-peg articulation in the prints?
It's like kind of like a mushroom head post. It's kind of hard to see there, but it's like there's a wider tip right around, and then there's a place inside that it kind of like a ring, like a rounded out ring inside where it kind of like pops into place.
How do you guys select what to make?
One thing that I really take into consideration is the paint work that's going to be involved in painting a figure. The paint work that would be involved in painting some of these figures would just take multiple hours on end, to where I can't justify what I could sell it for compared to the amount of time it would take to actually finish the figure.
Also, how do you guys kind of try and pick and choose when you're going to do something in the stained glass style that you're doing?
When I start to get to the end of, towards the finishing the last batch that I posted, I'll start working on the next figure, and I'll look through the vintage line and see what'll actually work well for the style, because I think there are some figures that I'm not going to be able to do in that style just because of how the colors are arranged. The Gamorrean guard is actually kind of tricky because there's like the brown on the helmet behind his green face, and it kind of darkens his face up a little bit, like in some positions. But it turned out pretty well.
Oh man, it's freaking amazing. I saw that and was like, holy shit, that thing was looking way clean.
Grab one of them here. It's more of a stain than a paint to keep its translucency.
Gotcha.
But like the silver and the black, I do just use acrylic paint, so they pop more. But some of it I do have to go over multiple times to get the right color depth for the figure.
So you're printing those clear and then staining them?
Yes, I am.
Holy shit.
I'll put this out there. If there's anybody that's thinking about starting to sell on Facebook and is like wanting to, because they only sell on Instagram, if they contact me, I'll give them a list of every Facebook page you can sell custom figures on, so that they already know. They don't even have to go find them. I'll tell them, you know what I mean? I'll make a list, and that way I'll just send it to whoever like messages me and asks for it. Because there's literally multiple Facebook pages for every kind of toy there is.
How are you going to finish off the year, man? It's coming up. We got about 4 months left.
We have a exclusive for Decon that we're doing for Dove that is a really cool figure. And Dove had this genius idea for the card back. I don't want to give it away because I want to wait until he like puts it out. I think as far as like finishing off the year, right now I'm kind of working through that Captain EO line. And then I've got other figures. So I know that that's not for everybody. So I'm trying to like sprinkle in other stuff too in between each one of those figures to kind of keep everybody, have something going out for everybody.
Thank you guys for being on, man. Again, thank you for that's always awesome. You guys have been super generous to the show from day one, man. I super appreciate that. Good luck to you guys in the next few months. I'm sure we'll be talking as we always do, but dude, what a great recipe right? If you're trying to start your own thing, not that you can ever duplicate that, because I don't think what you guys got going on can be duplicated in any way, shape, or form. But there's some good lessons in there as far as marketing and as far as kind of rolling with the punches, man, and being able to adapt and change. I think a lot of life is being able to adapt and change if you want to try to, keep succeeding and keep growing. And you guys are doing that, man. It's super cool to see. Crumbs.
But yeah, Yo-Yo Don, Grayskull, two beautiful faces going to be joining us this evening. Hence to meet, obviously, in a mo or two, is going to come in and hang out with us as well.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun night. And in the chat there, I don't know if you saw, we have a bunch of those homies hanging with us. But they're all chill there. You guys can't see, but they're just flipping a water bottle all nonchalantly, like some kind of cool motherfucker in the off screen.
He is
going to come in, dude.
He is a cool motherfucker. Let's do it.
Boom.
You got me cracking up over there. Yeah. Oh!
What's up?
Man, first off, I'm a creative. Just whatever's in my head, I just want to make it. And so far, I fell in love with the toy making because I obviously love collecting toys. I did make a children's book, and I'm not going to talk much about that one. But I did make I have a character toy design, and I think I'm going to come out with an adult children's book about that figure that I'll show in a little bit. But yeah, I actually just make things that I want on my shelf, and that's the importance of my figure making. Yeah, that's it.
Lots to digest there.
I actually started making toys right before COVID, and so during COVID, the mother of my child taught me how to use Photoshop. So I made my first action figure, which is around here somewhere. It's this cool Keith figure. Ooh. Fully resin, cool Keith figure. And then right after that, it's a long story about COVID, and I ended up suing the people that I worked for still today. I've been there for 16 years. And I got some loot, so I bought my first iPad, and then I took what she taught me with Photoshop, and I brought it to Procreate. I got really good at it, and I had all the tools to make this children's book, which I've always wanted to do. And it's a very nonchalant story, and the feedback from kids was like so heartwarming, and I didn't even like try to do that. I just tried to get this. To be honest with you, I just wanted to say, yeah, I wrote a children's book. That was it. And I put a lot into it, and just holding it was just like precious. And then I get feedback from kids and like reciting the book. It's like, what the hell? This is the first figure, fully resin Zartface character that I got into some squabbles with. And what sucks is like I can't listen to him anymore, dude. And for someone like I would kill for someone to bootleg my shit, first off. And he wasn't having any parts with it. And like I understand, but the way he went about it was like major boo. I was so disappointed. I think I still don't like Mutagen Man because of that day. So yeah, I'm definitely a carded type of person. I love the dude, I could write a crazy Edgar Allan Poe serial type killer, the thoughts that went through my head of making bubble blisters. Like I can conquer the world because I've conquered this fucking bubble blister shit, dude. When I seen this and holding this thing, and like, because you're a toy maker too, you're like, I know what went into this thing. I had to fucking have it. It was so inspiring to see this that I'm like, I got to step my game up. You could see like the care, the love, the small, like how long he waited to let because this is 100% resin. And I know how I know what he did. And it really makes you think like, I got to do that. I got to put that same love. If I love this, I got to have other people buy my stuff knowing that I care. But this is Mondo Gecko, but it's Del the Funky Homo Sapien. So it's Del the Gecko. And I don't know if you can see on the screen, but the things that I did was I turned the hat around, and then there's the hieroglyphics logo right here on the hat. I got rid of the braces. He has a nose ring, and down here he has a lip ring. And on the shirt right here, it says, it's actually the North Face logo because, bootlegging is in my blood. So North Face, and it says Del the Funky instead of North Face. And then I don't want to alter them too much more. So, these will be painted and carded just like the Bart. It'll also come with, I think I'm going to do 20, but it'll also come with 1 to 20. I do have the artwork already done. So I'm just not at that stage yet, but that would be my next figure after the Bart.
Oh shit! What is that?
Yeah, so he got a little frog on his pouch back here. He got cowboy boots on. He got a little scorpion on his boot right here, and he got a bat right here. So at the moment, he has a story. I also made this. I don't know if this is going to come with the packaging or where this is going to go. Basically, just a replica of his shield, glows in the dark. You know, we love the glow in the dark. The storyline that I have for it is like he was cast out of his realm because in his dimension he was too soft. So he comes to Earth, and all he wants to do is pet cats. Nothing's concrete, but this is a figure I have, Mullis the Floss. He couldn't believe that I was able to pull what I did from that figure onto a card. He's apparently loved it so much. I was like, yeah, dude, I agree. Like, it was a clash between me and his work was fantastic.
Because by the end, whether you want to or not, whether you mean to or not, the first piece, you're like talking 10 minutes, being like, fuck yeah, it's amazing. I would put this in my bathroom just so I could fat to it. And then the next minute, you're getting to like the fucking 70-second piece, and you're like, yeah, dope. So,
yeah.
You don't mean to. It's impossible not to. When you're not 70-second, it's 3 hours and 15 minutes in. Your belly's rumbling.
Outlaw Plastic Syndicate, man. Let's talk to these gents. Some guys that I think we've seen before. Oh, look at this. Outlaw Plastics, names matching. I like it. What's going on, gentlemen?
How you doing, guys?
Nice. Outlaw Plastic Syndicate. Let's talk about that name real quick. Where did that come from? It's a dope name. OPS.
It came, I guess, on a road trip home from Philly. And during, you know how they had those panel discussions?
Yeah.
Yeah, and in one of the panel discussions, which was about like toys and storytelling, pretty much everybody on the panel, except me, was kind of worked in licensing. And they were talking about getting licenses and doing all this stuff, and I was like, all due respect to all of you, but like, fuck that, just take it. And what you said at the end really resonated with me. And he turns and he goes, "You're an outlaw." And I'm like, I don't know if I'm an outlaw. And he's like, no. You're an outlaw, not a criminal. The rules and norms that you are pushing back against, you are doing so because you feel that they are wrong. Basically, that's the indication, right? Like, and I was like, wow, and it really struck both of us. And then we started talking on the way back. One of the things that we want to do is we want to squeeze as many people into the venue as we can because of this. And so when people apply, we're going to ask them to select their preferred table, and then a number of us, more than just Jay and I, will be making the decision. We're going to get a bunch of people together and have like a jury of peers. Locals will have priority, right? Because we want to support our local people. And then anything beyond anyone who is local, we will have room for people beyond that. Applications go live in exactly 1 month. We have a newsletter that you can sign up for already on the website, and we will be sending out reminders. We want to pull in as much foot traffic as we can. It's in a neighborhood that is in the heart of Toronto that's actually quite busy on the weekends. Not just make the work of other artists accessible, but the practice and the form. And so we're going to have a kit bash table. And we're going to have parts and buckets for people, and paints and hair dryers. And then DKE is going to supply us with those backer cards, the blanks with the clamshells. So you can come in and, pay a little bit of money and spend some time and actually like come away with something that you made, as well as stuff by other people.
Yeah, we'll definitely do whatever we can to help out, arrange and make arrangements, helping get products here, because that's been a tricky thing, is moving stuff across borders.
Our mandate is to support the artists as much as we can and to bring everybody together up here. Yeah, we just wanted to come on here and be like, hey, it's happening. It's legit. Like, we have a website, venues locked in.
Definitely put the whatever time and effort in is needed to make it successful, for sure.
Just after assembly required, we'll be able to let people know. Maybe before we'll let people know, but announcements certainly won't happen until after it's over, right? Because we'll also be at assembly required. So.
Oh, damn. Wow, that's going to be a busy first half of the year for you guys next year.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about maybe going to Decon too next month. So,
dudes, thank you very much. Outlaw Plastic Syndicate. Everybody follow that page. They will have announcements coming up from here. Great setup. Thanks, dudes. We will check in with you, I'm sure, several times before then, but thank you for being on and letting us talk about that and for that announcement, dude. That's super exciting. Cool. Right on. Yo-Yo Dine. Thanks, dude. Everybody who came on tonight, man. Hence to meet. Follow him. Buy some threads. Take a look at all of his stuff. He's got a ton of shit going on. Plastic Outlaw Plastic Syndicate. Sign up for the newsletter. Follow along. Holy moly. Lots of pieces. We talked last week. We said, hey, man, there's probably going to be like what, 75? Is that what we ended up with? Something like that?
Somewhere around like the 72, 75 mark. And then, of course, these fuckers, some of them made multiple posts, etc.
Isn't that funny, man? So, yeah, exactly, dude. So I'm scrolling, you see one person's post, you're like, oh, shit. And then you like scroll a little bit more, and you're just like, oh, damn, that's cool, too. Is that for the same? Oh, yeah, that's for the show, too.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, so are we hopping right into this? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're sick of the jibber jabber?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to rock, man.
Only 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not bad for an LMC
That's
show.
not bad. That's not bad for, I mean, 70-something artists. Surely we looked at close to 100 pieces, dude.
I don't think I have read that much out loud in a very long time. Dude, it's that W for Wolfman. You guys all killed it. Every single piece was through the fucking roof, man. All of you guys just went above and beyond with your pieces.
Great show. Congrats, everybody. Very fun. See you next week. Man, I am digging that background, bro. Tell me what's going on there.
You need unicorns in your life, man. Just bring the magic, you know? Like that movie Legend with Tom Cruise, and there's a unicorn in there. That shit, that touched me as a kid.
It touched me as a kid. That sounded very weird when you said that.
We'll take that one back.
Thank you for filling in tonight, man. We were going to talk to Frankie here pretty soon. What are you up to, Steph?
I have a crazy thing that happened today.
Yeah, let me hear it.
I work at a hospital, and today me and some of my coworkers got invited to what they call a lunch and learn. So we got a tour of the kitchen of the hospital, which is amazing. We meet the chef and we sit down at this table, and they are like giving us like plates of food so we can try the foods, because they want us to know like, hey, this is good food. And when you see patients, they have questions, you can answer them. And it turns out this fucking executive chef used to work at McDonald's and invented the McGriddle. I met the inventor of the McGriddle.
Well, that's a very cool story, man. That's not what I expected. Nope. You said you have a story for me, so thank you for that.
For sure.
So you got that stuff with Yucca going on. God, dude, is that for the weekly cardback series?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice, dude. Yeah. We got Frank and He's in the house. We're going to talk to him. Then we are going to, I did save a few posts for tonight. We'll get into some other pieces to show. What you think? What you think about that, man?
Yeah. Which one? What are we doing? When is Franken coming in?
Franken is in the waiting room right now, man. I think we're probably about ready, man. You good to go there, Franken He's? Dude, that background, God, you beat me. I don't want to say you beat me to it because I wouldn't do that one, but a different background, dude. That's something I haven't tried yet. All right, Frank and Heath, here we go.
Hey.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Honored to be here. And
why don't you tell everybody who you are and what's going on?
All right. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jason. I do art under the title of Frank and Heath. It all started about 5-6 years ago as an edible company for me under the title of Crystal Lake Confections. And I ended up becoming a sponsor for a show called Booze and Buddies. And that was kind of my foot in the door to this world of toys and collections and art and everything else. I had no idea, got the bug and started kind of doing it myself, and started more as like kit bashing and just kind of hodgepodging what I could. And I had seen all these shows and these platforms that people were having shows on. And at the time, I didn't really have my own platform. So I was just, wanted to do something. So I took it upon myself to start my own show, and I titled it The Crystal Lake Masquerade because my logo at the time kind of had Jason ties. So I said, why not? Let's do it. And I had never been in a show before. So it was not only the first show I'd ever hosted, it was the first show I'd ever had a piece in, the first show I'd ever sculpted anything for. And it was amazing. So much fun with it. And it's just evolved from there.
What point did it turn into a toy thing?
I think it was part of being as a sponsor, I wanted to support them as well and watch their show. And I just fell in love with it. I do have a little bit of a graffiti background and dabbled in art throughout my life, but just seeing what everyone was doing and at this new phase in my life, starting fresh with everything, I was inspired by everyone else. And just, like I said, I took what I had and I just started putting stuff together, and I found sites like Wicked Skinny and some other places that provided blanks, and I just ordered and cut up and butchered and threw together, and it just kept evolving over the years. I've met so many amazing people. I've done so many things, and Frank has evolved, and it's been crazy, man. And now here I am hosting 2 of my own art shows, one being the Crystal Lake Masquerade, which we are 5 years strong now. This is actually the 5th annual. I do everything myself. I run it, I host it. When I start a show, I start a group chat so that I can communicate to everyone at once. So I reached out to them, and someone had suggested Playful, and I, at the time, didn't even dawn on me, and he was very obliging, and so he is going to help me host the Crystal Lake Masquerade. They can talk about their inspiration, whatever they felt when they were doing it, the troubles that they may have had and crossed. They have 10 minutes to pretty much discuss whatever they want. Upcoming shows, I know DCon's right around the corner, so almost everybody's getting prepped for that. So it's the 18th for the Masquerade, and then the following week, I have the Frank Show. Now that I have my own platform and able to do that, I host the Frank Show. Frank is just, he is 7 inches. He's a big boy. The weekend after the 25th is the 2nd annual Frank and Heath Show. Again, same thing with the mask. It's just been such an honor to see what people have done to my figure. I mean, I never, when I started this journey, thought that here I would be, people customizing my baby. Like, this is my pride and joy. Yeah. So after I learned how to mold, I went at it. You know, my got me some little like muscle men from Japan, so I made molds of those. Those were some of the very first runs that I had done. In the 4 years I've had Frank, I've only done like 2 actual runs. Everything has just been a one of one because there's so many color variations and things that I want to do. I just can't imagine sitting and doing the same one over and over to do a run.
Man, so you got quite a few things going on, man. The Crystal Lake Confections mask show. That's this weekend.
Yes, this Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific.
And that's on Playful Gorilla's Instagram.
Correct. And then the Frank Show is October 25th, and that will actually be live from Ditto Pop's page. He was kind enough to provide his platform for that show.
Dude, it looks like you're doing some really cool shit, man. It looks strong. It looks like it keeps on getting better and better, man. But thank you for your time. Is there anything else you want to get out there before we move on?
Everything. I want to say thank you to you guys, everyone who's here watching, everyone who, if you guys don't follow me, went and followed me.
If you're ever looking for a platform or anything like that, dude, just reach out, man. We're always open for business. Dude, he's got a lot going on.
What a good dude. What a good dude.
All right, guys. Thank you for being in tonight, and we will see you next week. Aaron, thanks for coming in, dude. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.
Stephanie.
I'm sorry.
I don't know Aaron.
We're only on episode 180. We'll figure it out one of these days. I am not going to DCon this year. No, it's just a crazy time, man. I would like to go. It's great, dude. It's an awesome event. But I'm glad we got Dove here to talk about it. We could probably bring Dove in there now. He's looking kind of annoyed, so I'm sure.
Well, I would.
Look at him smiling.
Right.
Okay.
You good, homie?
I'm good.
What's up, Dove? How are you?
What's going on? It's that bullshit saying that I'm annoyed. Don't tell me how I feel. I'm just participating, you know.
You are.
Saying hi. How you guys been?
Great, dude. How are you?
Great. I haven't seen you guys officially in, I think it's been a year.
Has it been a year?
It probably has been, yeah.
Has it? I think it's also been a year of drama-free Toys Alive as well.
Hey!
Was this the smoothest year of Toys Alive?
What you think?
Oh, you had to think about that. It wasn't like a fuck yeah. It was.
Well,
it's like, oh.
There's hard to find something wrong. We always do, but so let's talk about you, shall we?
Okay, I love to talk about me.
DCon 20 years, dude.
DCon 20 years, yes. Again, you know, a lot of different iterations, a lot of movement, a lot of growing pains. But yeah, it's going to be 20 years, and it's still, you know, I mean, Ben's not here and hopefully not listening, but yeah, I mean, still growing pains, you know. First it was like Vinyl Toy Network. It was, you know, Ben was partners with Weedy Wheat, and it was a little show. And then it went to Pasadena, and it was like upstairs in like those little rooms, or, you know, just very early on. And then it just sort of grew and grew until it took over all of Pasadena, until, you know, there was a line around the block and the fire marshal wouldn't let people in, and they had to go into like other buildings. And then anytime you have to go into other buildings and you have to create like all this like signage, right? Like walk through here because there's more stuff over there. But no matter what you do, no matter how many people are in there, how great a show it was, the people in that room feel slighted. So then they jumped to Anaheim, and that was like some growing pains, and that pandemic caused problems, and then that was just grew to like out of control, and it just takes time. There's a lot of people don't want to travel. They just need to see the images online, and they have FOMO. They're like, oh, I need to be there. And like they have no trouble selling booths. The booths are sold out.
What you got, man?
What we got? So we got some exclusives to show you. So every year when we do Decon, we come on the show and we show you all the exclusives that we have. Everything we have are made by artists who make exclusive runs of stuff specifically for us. We do put everything on sale on the website before the show because we started doing that in pandemic and just have continued to do that because we don't feel that we sort of built up a client base that's all over the world and not everyone's actually going to the show. So everything I'm showing you today goes on sale Friday, November 7th at noon Pacific, dktoys.com. So you go there, everything's on sale. If we have extras, then we take it to the show the next week. So, but do keep in mind, we do start shipping the Monday we get back. So I think that's like the 14th, 17th.
The Monday you get back from Decon, gotcha.
Yeah, so everything's sort of a pre-order. And the other note is that if you order multiple times, we do make our best effort to combine and refund shipping. So here, this is by Twin Fang Toys, which is Sadat. So this one's called Loctula Full of Crummies. And I'll turn this guy over. All these little guys, you get a button.
Crumbs.
Yeah, it's fun.
Smooth, man. I like that.
And if you look at how clean this figure is, one of my favorite pieces, or the favorite type of pieces that we sell, is when someone is just making a figure that's just making a statement. You can see the metal parts. Really fantastic piece. Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
Really clean, dude.
And then check that out. 5. It took him over 100 hours to make this.
To make one of them?
To make one of them. I mean, he's a 2D artist and has shown in galleries, all over the world. It's a Boba Fett Snake Eyes mashup. I don't know, a year ago, longer. And I was like, hey guys, like this would make a great figure. And I don't believe they've ever done a carded figure before. That's just another example. Like there's no pop culture references here. Fucking insane.
The squeaky.
Got a really good job of something bad. For those of you who don't know Edwin, Edwin works in wood. Boba Fett, of course, because that's what one does. When you get to the end, everyone's like hit fatigue mode. It's like, oh, you're going to release another one? Or you're going to do it like Lando and Yoda and, Ben and whatever. And it's like, okay, now what? Then you do Greedo because fantastic edition of 10. You've seen this Death by Toys, Thoughts and Prayers. So show them. So these are the last two figures in the line. This one is Tubal Cain and Guy Walker. Little mazes and crosswords and connect the dots in lovely fluorescent highlighter colors.
Oh, damn, those are cool. Fuck.
It's like, okay. So anyway, last time we did have hockey players, but we didn't have any goalies. So we got Sucklord goalies.
There you
go. His figures with the dice for heads, Kronos. That was one of my favorite figures. So when I found this thing that had 6 characters on it, you could put all 6 Dungeons and Dragons dice on it. I was very amused. So
I was going to ask you if he I saw his gallery show. I was going to ask you if he had
mind-blowing. That if you haven't, I'm just going to tell everyone, go to his Instagram page, Recollection, and go watch that video of his gallery show. It is fantastic. He does a quick walkthrough, takes a minute or two, and just everything is porcelain. Another member of the Canadian tribe. Those are in the store right now. They're $25. This is Smash by Plastic Purpose. Figure is not here yet. This Sucklord Garbage Pail Kid card. This is the B card. It says Suck Lord. It has a DK logo on the back.
One of the things that kind of keeps people going too is just the support from other people, whether you're selling stuff or not. But the
100%.
I dig about the community is that, you see people that kind of leave and then come back and then maybe get some praise in the comments and stuff. And you can like literally see it building them back up. And next thing you know, they're maybe doing something else. And people come in and out of the scene all the time, it seems like. But I think the one thing that brings them back is not only their creativity, but just kind of the camaraderie of the scene, and then the support, man. I mean, I know a lot of people here, whether it be toys or life in general, or some of the side conversations that happen. I think support is a huge, huge part of it, right?
Well, I'm going to say it again, and I said it last year. It's like, this is what you guys do. You guys create community. You have a get together every week where artists can come together, and if you can just create something and get together with people and create that camaraderie and get attention just from your peers. You don't have to make money from it. You're just like, hey, look what I made, and everyone's into it. That's the creativity that helps you, you know, get up the next day and go to work and do whatever else you have to do to survive. Like, it's a better life than our ancestors. Our ancestors just woke up hungry, wandered around, didn't specialize in anything. They just looked for food all day. Right? Before, it was just a dude farting around on a cave wall, and, you know, just at night when there's nothing else to do. But, you know, again, he woke up the next morning, he or she, you know, just super hungry and just wandered the earth looking for food. And so we've conquered those issues for the most part. So this is a gift. I was going somewhere, but now I'm mad. I don't know. I'm just here to make Crumbs laugh. Fucking demons and like claws and blood spurting everywhere and fucking day glow in the dark blacklight shit. Like, it would be crazy. But why do we look at this cave painting and say, like, holy shit, like this guy or this man or woman that we don't know didn't have tools, right? They had to go make their tools, make their pigments, figure out how to draw. No one said, like, there's no art class. Like, I'm going to draw a buffalo, and I'm, you know, it's like, and then you get all the way to like the Egyptians, and they're like carving stories and histories into stone. Like, I don't know. Did that answer your question? Friday at noon. No, sorry. For all the other artists here in the room, if you've never made an exclusive for us, please do get in touch. We're looking to work with new artists all the time. It is a new skill sometimes for people who are just making one-offs to conceptualize something and make an edition, but our edition requirements have gone way down. It used to be 20 pieces. And as you can see, 10 will suffice. And if it's expensive, 5 will do as well. So sometimes that's very helpful. If you get in touch, I'm happy to get you on the phone and describe what we do. If I think about what our job is really breaking new artists. So if you feel like you're at the point where like you want to make an addition to something and get it out to the world, we are here on this show. We are on other shows. Like, what we're doing is promoting, and that's really the only reason most of these artists sell stuff with us is for the, you know, why give a chunk of your sales to somebody else? Like, what do you get out of it? Like, you can just sell it yourself, right? Well, you know, if you do one edition a year for us, it helps just get the word out, and we talk about you, and I hope that is beneficial.
Very, very few people out there in this community who have access to the kind of stuff that you do at the frequency that you do. As a collector, man, that's got to be, you know, I know you collect. That's it. There's no real question, really. You can just say yes, because I think we all know it's good.
Am I lucky? Yes, 100%. It's sort of, you know, my standard answer when people say, how are you doing? And then I just say, living the dream. It's sort of like it's sort of 100% true. And it's also, you know, sort of facetious at the same time, right? It's like, you know, what's the dream, whatever. But like, as far as like I'm concerned, yes, I'm very fortunate. I've had, you know, privilege upon privilege, you know, bestowed upon me, and life just keeps getting better. And it's, you know, that's probably not what most people want to hear, and it's not something I say out loud to most people. But yeah, it's, you know, just done stuff. I've done things the hard way. I never took the easy road. But yes, I'm very fortunate. I get to do what I want, and I get to sort of wander, but I've always sort of like wandered towards things that I think are good ideas and make money. So I have that freedom, but there's always something underneath that's paying the bills. All right, guys, thank you again. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything you do for the scene. I'll tell you over and over again. It's
I can't, dude. They're just so nice.
Give you permission to say goodbye.
Okay, see, I missed the first part of that though.
Oh man,
that was a fucking plethora tonight of really good information, man. Anybody who goes back and watches that is gonna get some fucking bangers.
And you know what's funny, dude, is you know, I think we can always really we always speculate about a lot of stuff, right? Like why are certain things going on in the scene, or why are people buying or not buying, or whatever, man. It's all speculation, right? But then you get somebody like Dove, who it's probably, you know, there is some speculation to it too, but it makes a lot of sense. And if there's anybody who's going to have some real hardcore, especially compare and contrast of like where it started off to where it was and now where it is now and kind of where it's going. Who else in the scene are you going to ask that question to and get a legitimate answer that you're going to believe and say, okay, I take that as gospel and that's correct.
We're two grown men talking indie toys. You want professionalism, you go somewhere else.
Dude, we got a lot going on, man.
I'm stoked to be talking to Suki tonight. We used to be doing like those creative chats, so it's been a little minute since I've actually sat and chatted with them.
Man, yeah, dude, he's got a lot of stuff going on, dude. We're gonna take a look at those shirts, and then we're gonna talk about more shirts. For anybody watching who doesn't know who you are, go ahead and spill your guts to the world, my friend.
Well, I'm Suki, also known as Fuck Toys, and tonight I would like to talk to you about diabetes. No, I've been an art director, designer, illustrator, graphic artist for decades. So that's, the day job. So the graphic design and the illustrations kind of carried over into my love of toys and indie toy packaging and all that good stuff. So while I don't get a lot of chance to do a lot of full-fledged toys, I at least am having some fun coming up with some, fun, more imagery-based pieces as of late.
How many shows have you been in?
Not as many as I would like to. I'd probably say it's been 3 or 4. Yep, we got that. We did the.
Oh, I remember that one now.
And then, of course, the one-up show.
Yeah.
I mean, I was asking what you made for tomorrow.
Still, honestly, in the middle of repiecing back together the studio after I had a bunch of bees to have extracted from basically right above my studio space.
What?
Honey from random spots that I step on or put my hand on and realize, oh, that's got crap all over it still. Anybody ever has an issue with they think honeybees are moving in, like get a hold of your local beekeepers fast, have them come over with they come over with infrared cameras anymore, and they will look around and it when they're in the walls or the ceiling because it is glowing red hot. They cut above my dining room ceiling, between the 2 rafters, so about 16-foot or 16-inch hole, and then another space just below it on the wall, and vacuumed out 4.5 pounds of bees to relocate, and then pulled all the honeycomb out, and everybody's just like, oh, were you able to just hold a jar up and get a little bit of honey out? I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. They cut a hole, and honey waterfalls out and down the walls and all over the floor, and every bee that escapes is covered in honey now, and everything it touches gets honey off on it. And yeah, and they took 4.5 pounds of bees in one big vacuum with them, but for over a week afterwards, fortunately I kept the dining room and where my workshop is in the kitchen, construction tarped off. But every time I stepped through here, I'd instantly pick up the shop vac, get a few dozen around the windows and the doors trying to get out, a few dozen on the floor dead. And this was for over a week, every single time I stepped through here. So I don't wish it on anybody. So if anybody's ever has the slightest inkling of, I think maybe some bees might be moving into the walls, get them out fast, for the good or the bad. I think I have my own style, especially when it comes to the more photocomposite kind of illustration work. But because I'm most of the time so compelled through the day job to change it up and try and emulate other looks, I even get lost going, okay, what is my style? So I've been told by people, no, you have a distinct style, even trying to change it up. But it's one of those. It plays with your head when you're always trying to make somebody else happy with your art versus doing purely for yourself. So it was nice with the piece that I've got dropping tomorrow with the show that it was completely all me. I was working in my native photocompositing style. It is made from dozens, if not a couple hundred different image pieces, just texture photos, and just layered and effects and all that kind of stuff. It's all old school Photoshop. I'm not, plugging into the AI bullshit or anything like that. It is, just old school, almost just, darkroom level manipulation and compositing and everything together. So I'm proud of it. All in all, what I got done with that piece. And then, I've got a fun extra component in it, which it'll reveal tomorrow. So yeah, I think it'll be a fun piece. I think it'll be hopefully a good addition to the group show. I know I'm excited to see everybody else's work. The little sneak peeks that everybody's giving each other backstage. It looks like there's going to be some really impressive work out there tomorrow.
Do you find doing shows like this kind of helps you get back into that flow of your style?
My style, obviously, the shows are. And I think most everybody would admit that we're not necessarily doing the shows for a wide audience, you know, or collectors or anything like that. Where I think most people, at least myself, would be like, hey, this is a fun challenge for me personally as an artist to work on a theme that I'm not normally would be working on, you know, and see how my style, what I normally do, fits that. So, you know, yeah, it's nice to try and work in my comfort zone, but at the same time, it's working my comfort zone into a totally different zone.
Dude, let's talk about t-shirts, dude. I know you got the Care Bear one. That one, those you had sent me a stack of those, so I'm sure some people have stickers of those. What kind of led to the t-shirt arena for you?
You know, as an artist, you're like, hey, I've got this great design, and I would, you know, not only want to see it out in the world, but it'd be nice to make a couple bucks off of it, you know, and you put them on these big name brand t-shirt websites, and they're like, oh, well, we'll you know, we'll do the printing and fulfillment, you know, and we'll just take 95% of the profit. And you're just like, what the hell, you know? And, you know, then they turn around and, oh, but you also got to do your own marketing. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, no, you know. So that is, you know, I'll put a shirt out there for a minute, mainly for, you know, so I could get myself one, you know, because I generally produce apparel that I want to wear, you know, which is where this came from. You know, it was just a design that popped in my head. I'm like, ooh, okay, yeah, I could use a new t-shirt, and okay, let's do it. But, you know, I'll put these shirts out, and, you know, then I'd yank them back down because it just wasn't making any money off of it. A couple really good companies out there, like the one I'm using, which is Merch Yeah, and Beast Direct actually got me turned on to it. And they're amazing, you know, really good quality. I mean, this is print on demand, lots of different apparel company options to pick from. And we're talking mainly t-shirts, hoodies. But I saw a couple that Beast Direct was doing, and I was interested in one of his. And when I got it in, I'm like, wow, this is, you know, pretty decent quality and everything. So I hit him up. I'm just like, dude, pros and cons, you know. And he's just like, look, man, I'm so happy with this company.
Let's take a look at the one that you just released today.
Mm-hmm. They might be the ones that have a flash sale, coincidentally.
Check that out, man. That's a little Toys Alive exclusive there. The variant with the toy with the Z on it. Nice magenta background, dude. I dig that.
And I'm old school, like, you know, if I bought a shirt 30 years ago, I expect it to still be functioning. I mean, I'm amazed at the quality of this sucker. And it's just a beautiful design anyways. This is the biggest one I have in my collection, but most of the other Safubi that I had pre-housing crash was big pieces that people were producing. I mean, this is Market 27, right. And this is one of the mini gods, givers of divine sound. It has a full working mono speaker with an input jack. The sound is horrible. I mean, it's a mono speaker operating inside of soft vinyl, but it works. I mean, it's a battery compartment on the bottom, so it is a working speaker you could play stuff through.
You have won the FKD Toys Alive new shirt designed by the man right in front of you, Suki FKD. Thank you, my man, for joining us. We are looking forward to your piece tomorrow and then reviewing it next week, man. That's going to be a really fun show. But thank you for joining us, man. You are an absolute saint. Those shirts are sick. Very much appreciated, dog.
Thank you, guys. And
I wasn't sure.
He was waiting for it, dude. That was perfect.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was waiting for it, if there was actually something beautiful they were about to say. So I was like, no. Yeah.
Nice.
That's how we roll here. Yeah, dude.
So
damn, man. Suki is one of those ones I feel like, fuck bringing them on our show. Fucking DKE Toys. Somebody with a brain should bring them on. Imagine those guys just popping off. Somebody like Dove, whose brain is just thinking about like all the fucking 20 years worth of art they've seen, and like Suki with the 20 years worth of art they've been doing. That would be a fucking conversation.
Yeah, no kidding, man. You ready to get this thing started or what, man?
My 8-bit Mike was saying, if you actually happen to have one of your bowls handy, it's the same size as what they've posted in their page here. I like how you're just like, yeah.
That's that's significant. Yeah, big dudes.
Puzzle Panda, the slab daddy. Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, okay, and you know what? I'm sure we've talked about it a bajillion times, but anybody who actually casts you, like, think of how much frickin' resin is in there. I don't know who that dude is. I'm sure you admire him, though.
Don't you dare. dope.
Toys.
Toys, man. Yeah, great show tonight, man. That was another cool one.
Figure out what next week we're gonna do for these Yahoos. You know, it'll be involve some toys. You can see B's a little behind there. We do have a Zymet down below. We kind of threw them in. Zymet was kind enough to hop in, and if you haven't been over to their page, they informed me that it is correct to say electroplating in what they've been doing with copper and also with chrome in their pieces. So we're gonna pull them in and we're gonna bug them a whole bunch about it.
Let me put my glove on again.
You know, I was watching when you had your glove on too. How are you not worried about your bracelet that you wear?
I don't know.
You just don't care?
What's gonna happen?
I don't know. It's gonna get aged or plated in weird coppers and stuff.
No, because I would have to have like electricity hooked up to it, and I'd have it soaking in acid, and I would probably notice. So copper baths, the steady crafting recipe. This is from the webpage is Casewell, CASEWELL.com, and they have a bunch of electroplating supplies. So that's their more. It's a little less aggressive than the Craftsman recipe, and it's a little brighter when you polish it. And this is the chrome bath. So it's I need to get my list again. So it's copper sulfate crystals, sulfuric acid, and like a brightener. So that's my stuff going in there.
And then with like a lot of these, I'm seeing that you've drilled it into the bottom or you put like a hook into the bottom. Do you have to worry about trying to seal that up afterwards, or does that just kind of rip off and the copper pieces or the chrome pieces stays inside?
Oh, with the like those kinds of things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is just a way, because you have to conduct the electricity into it. So I snip them off. So like this one that's being patinaed right now, you can see how it was snipped off. And those are going to change like overnight, and then I'll buff them up and stuff, and they'll look more like this. Yeah. The chrome, which isn't real chrome, like I was saying when we were cut off, because real chrome has cyanide in it, and it's not really something you should mess with because you'll die. You have a power supply. You have a positive and negative on the power supply. You control the amperage based on the square inches of your part.
Like even that ends up being a lot of math, would it not?
Yes, but there's like the Caswell place has like a thing that does the math for you. You just measure stuff, and you can basically figure out the square inches. It's you don't have to be wicked exact, but that tells you what amperage to go to. So the positive is attached to a piece of copper. The negative is attached to this bar, which is attached to your part. So your part is a negative, and it attracts the copper off the positive. So it pulls the copper off, and you end up with like pieces of eaten away copper like this.
Have you noticed when you're casting your pieces that if you're putting things in them, that it ends up affecting the electroplating process, like how things will copper or how they'll patina?
No, that wouldn't affect it, because I mean anything that you're putting into resin is encapsulated by the resin. All right, so you have to use this conductive paint.
Yeah.
Here's a new one that I didn't open yet. But all this shit's really expensive too. So this conductive paint, this is a pint. This was $100.
Yeah.
For this thing of paint. All this shit's so expensive. So these are resin prints, and this just has the conductive paint on them. You can see I get ahead. So that's probably stuff that'll be for next week. So I put hooks into the bottom of them, and it's copper wire with copper hooks, drill holes, paint over everything with a couple coats.
And are you still putting all the other processing involved? Like I know normally we know you have quite the cleanup process to your resin printings to ensure that they've got like a flawless surface.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you don't sand them and such, this is going to be like, all that's going to show. It's going to be amplified by the plating process, especially with this chrome. Any flaws are going to be like way amplified. It's like, this is just raw copper. And the raw copper stuff is kind of cool because I mean, this is like how a new penny looks. And you know how old pennies look?
Yeah.
This will change in time, and you'll be able to polish it with metal polish and get it back to this. But it's kind of a like in progress thing all the time because I'm not coating it. You can wax them to get them to stay the same, but I think it's kind of cool to have it change over time. And then I left this in the bath longer with a higher voltage than usual to get that really thick layer that you can see.
So you're not only playing with the time it's in there, but even just the quantity of layers you're applying as well?
Oh yeah. I ran drips down and it didn't adhere great and it started to peel off. but it's kind of cool. And so this I had in there plating for 3 days, which is way, way, way longer than you're supposed to do. But like abusing processes is fun. This is a thing that this was a miscast because the bottom was screwed up. But so this I drilled holes in the angels' heads and drilled holes in the kid's head and put a piece of thick wire, like a 12 gauge wire. And then I put chain through it. And so then I plated this for a long time until the chain fused.
If you don't mind, you're glazing that as well?
Yeah, it's got a special clear coat for metal called Clear Guard. You can't use regular clear or the copper turns like black. Just reacts to it. People make little baskets out of titanium mesh that can go in the bath that hold the bar instead of just holding it with a piece of wire. And if you do that, you could throw all these scraps in it and use those scraps. So I just ordered a bunch of titanium stuff to make those because the titanium won't corrode and it won't react to the acid and it won't pollute your bath.
Blue Rillis is asking if you have any safety tips for working with the copper plating.
Lots and lots and lots of gloves and change them often because the acid eats through them. Also have this, which is just a tub with water and baking soda in it. And so if you feel a tingle on your hand, you stick your hand in that. So say I was doing like this. Again, that's just a conductive paint. So say I did this whole thing in copper. See, so to do the chrome, like if I dipped this much of it in, it wouldn't work. You'd have to like manipulate it so it was in there like this. So you'd have to hang it this way and have that part sticking out of the water because it has to have the electricity going through the wire. Like right now, I've got some others printing. I don't know if you could see them yet, but I just started them. But so I've got my week after that printing now in these 3 printers. But I don't know. That's the speed I like to work at. Caswell.com has this plating manual, and it's like an old school book, and that has just about anything you'd want to know about plating in it. And if you order one of their kits, they'll take off the cost of the book, so it's kind of nice.
Is that something that you're going to keep on going with, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for now, definitely I'm going to keep going on it because I feel like I've hardly done anything with it. Like, there's so much you can do, right? Yeah, I'll keep going on it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't plan ahead all that much. So everyone should make an email list, and we should all join each other's email lists and get anyone that ever buys anything from you to join your email list, because that's the only way you can make sure people see what you're doing, because social media is garbage. That's my words of wisdom. Like, I don't really care, like, if my stuff gets likes or whatnot. Like, it's good to sell stuff, but like my victory is when I make something and it comes out how I wanted it. And like, yeah. I think that's also kind of a bad trait I have. And another reason why I can't do something like Safubi, because I'm not going to fucking promote it more than a week, because like, it's just repetitive, even though no one sees it. So it's probably not repetitive to anyone but me.
That was good though, man. And we're going to do a post probably tomorrow or sometime in the next few days about having more people on that want to do some sort of how-to just like that. So if there's anybody out there, I know that, probably 95% of our audience is artists. If there's anybody out there that feels like you specialize in something, or maybe not even specialize, that you just do, and it's something you want to share, we're not begging people to come on and like share your, any proprietary stuff or stuff that you don't want to share. But if there is something that you want to share that people would get, learn a good lesson from, hit us up, man. Let's make it happen. I think that's really good content. We are in here for the last live of the year. Just think, dude, if we would have kept it on Thursday, we would have had a show on Christmas and on New Year's.
But would we?
No, I was just going to say, which we'd still be doing recorded episodes.
One of the coolest parts I'm finding about doing like the recap episode stuff is you just miss certain things, man. You're sitting there kind of like, oh yeah, like this is, you know what I mean? You're hearing all these artists saying things that like, we chat with some pretty brilliant people, not just talented with what they do and like the physics and the engineering and all the math and everything else that goes into like what they actually make, but then like some of them are actually fucking well spoken and they don't say fuck every 3 words and they say really inspiring and interesting things, not just about resin but about being a creative and being an artist.
What's up, dog? Let's talk about this show. Why don't you guys break it down for me and let me know how this thing came about. I think it's a great idea. You got 18 artists in there making pieces of each other. Go ahead and drop the knowledge on us there, bud.
18 to 20 is really the perfect number for a show like this because it doesn't get too overwhelming.
Agreed.
But I'm going to give the credit here to Fritz, who hit me up and was like, I've got an idea for a show. What do you think about this?
we came up with a questionnaire and sent that out, so everybody got to learn something about their artist.
I'm not gonna lie here. It's a well-known secret that I'm just a big softie. So there were more than the first few posts that I scrolled through had me tearing up for just how heartfelt and touching they were. And like you were saying, it ends up being more of an intimate show, which is very fitting for Secret Santa. Like, as much as I love the idea of a huge Secret Santa show, I can't imagine trying to organize that.
Oh, it's like the Island of Miscast Toys.
Yeah.
That Barrio Bob is doing, dude. That one seems like it gets a little bit bigger every year, and just you're right, man. Organizing something like that, especially over a certain amount of time, it's plus with all your other life stuff, it's I'm sure it can be confusing and hectic at the same time, but it looked great, dude. You guys did a great presentation of the show. Posters look good, marketing looked good.
I definitely want to do this again next year, and then if any more ideas bounce around in my head, I'm willing to pursue them, as long as I'm not stepping on anybody else's schedule.
Well, what do you say we jump in, fellas, and take a look? I think
Yeah,
Chronos
yeah.
has them all tabbed up. We'll hop in and just start going through them, see what's going down.
How do you feel about how your toy show ended up going?
Super excited. Went really well. I think the turnout of artists was fantastic. It was a really manageable number. I think everybody's enthusiastic participation meant a lot. I think that the quality of the work is exceptional.
Fritz said it perfectly. I couldn't be more touched with the way everyone put so much work and heart into everything. It's beyond overwhelming, and I can't say thank you enough to everyone involved, and to Fritz for throwing these ideas at me, and to let's give a great big shout out to Lee for work on the questionnaire.
Is this going to be an annual thing, you think? Doing it again next year?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Hey, that's me, bigger, harder.
Hey, that's me again.
Hey, that's still me.
There you go.
Hey, it's me again. I like that. I like that one. I think that's funny. It was a hell of a way to end it, man, for the at least for the year. Like I said, coming back strong. You guys make sure that you tune in. There will be a show next week and the week after, some little highlight shows. And it'll be fun, man. And then we'll catch you guys at the first of the year. We'll come back strong, man. It'll be a fun 2026. I can guarantee you that.